Chapter 545. Little heavenly beast Qin Yun floated in the air, with the soft light of the stars and moon, overlooking the heavenly beast desolate domain. Here, like the outside, is a large ancient jungle, some areas are depressions. There was also a winding river that ran through this vast ancient forest. This desolate domain is really mysterious. I have to find a way to find a heavenly beast, and get a heavenly beast bone or something. Qin Yun doesn't know if he can find a heavenly beast. Little Yun, although the heavenly beasts here are all young, but the young heavenly beasts are very powerful. Ling Yuner said, "Some young heavenly beasts have the strength of martial king." What? How can it be so terrible? Why is Yang Yang, the ninth heaven Xian sparrow, a very weak duckling? Qin Yun was also scared by the strength of the heavenly beast. Yang Yang is in the nascent stage. After the nascent stage, it is the juvenile stage. It may take hundreds of years or thousands of years. Ling Yun said. This duckling is really hard to raise. Qin Yun sighed. Little Jade Rabbit is also a young heavenly beast, but I don't know what type it is. Ling Yun said again. Qin Yun only knows that Little Jade Rabbit is a Xian beast level. The powerful thing is that it is very fast, eats a lot and can absorb toxins. Its combat ability seems to be very weak. This heavenly beast desolate domain can let a martial master who just entered the spirit martial realm come in, indicating that most of the strength of the heavenly beast is stronger than those martial masters. Ling Yuner said this, also let Qin Yun pay more attention. Knowing that the heavenly beasts here are very strong, Qin Yun also became cautious and quickly used the power of shadow. The power of shadow is also one of the power of Nether Sun that he is currently more proficient in. In the night, Qin Yun flew carefully in the sky, looking at the ground, looking for heavenly beasts. Yun what is the difference between these heavenly beasts and Xian beasts? Qin Yun is very curious about this. Heavenly Lion is a heavenly beast. There is a strong bloodline inheritance in its body. After growing up, it will be stronger than ordinary beasts in all aspects. Ling Yuner said, but in this heavenly beast desolate domain, it is impossible to be full of heavenly beasts. There are also other spirit beasts and Xian beasts, be careful. Qin Yun did not know how to find a heavenly beast. He could only fly randomly. How can I tell if it's a heavenly beast? Qin Yun suddenly saw the thicket below moving, so he immediately flew down. If it's a heavenly beast, its body will have a faint trace of immortal qi. The most powerful thing about heavenly beasts is that they can absorb the immortal energy of the immortal desolate the moment they are born. Ling Yuner warned, when you get close, look carefully before you attack. If you attack a powerful heavenly beast, it will be very dangerous. No wonder heavenly beasts are so powerful. Yuner, I cultivated the heavenly lion Xian body. Why can't I absorb that immortal energy? Qin Yun asked. Only in the immortal weapon city would he be able to absorb very weak immortal energy. Even if you absorb it, it's useless. With your current situation, you are unable to refine the immortal qi. You can only gather it together and release it through the Nether Sun martial spirit. Only if you have an immortal body can you refine immortal energy and make yourself stronger. This is one of the reasons why Lu Jingmeng is so powerful. When Qin Yun heard Ling Yuner's words, he yearned for the immortal body even more. He entered the forest and soon found something. In the distance there is a silver glow flowing quickly. It's a touch of immortal energy. The heavenly beast has appeared. Qin Yun was excited and quickly chased after it. This heavenly beast is a bit strong. Its strength should be equivalent to the spirit martial realm. Ling Yun said. Why is the heavenly beast so small? Qin Yun couldn't help but think of Yang Yang. It is obviously a divine beast, but it is like a duckling. It is not domineering at all. He felt that it should be as huge and majestic as a dragon. Qin Yun used the power of the dragon resisting boots to barely catch up. He also saw what kind of heavenly beast it is a deer. The deer is very small, it looks like it has just been born and its whole body overflows with silver glow. The little antlers are golden, jumping and jumping, the speed is very fast. Hey, this kind of harmless heavenly beast, don't do it. Ling Yuner said, you have the heavenly lion Xian body, you should deal with that kind of overbearing heavenly beast. Also, killing this little thing is not in line with my heavenly lion Xian body identity. Qin Yun said to Ling Yuner with a smile. Just as he was about to leave, someone suddenly spoke. That little stupid deer is in front, chase it. That is a living heavenly beast cub. If we catch it, we will have a big credit. Qin Yun is very familiar with the voice. Qin Yun used the power of shadow to hide, and looked at the group of people, who caught up and soon felt a familiar aura. It's Lu Chongxing. Qin Yun was shocked. Sure enough, a guy who just entered the spirit martial realm can really enter this heavenly beast desolate domain. This group of people are the disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Wood Star Palace. There are more than 20 people in the spirit martial realm and 9th level martial Dao realm. The disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Star Sect are really powerful. Qin Yun feels that his speed is already good, but the disciples of Immortal Sects, who just entered the spirit martial realm, are faster than him. Not long after, several spirit martial realm early-stage martial masters caught up with the little deer. Qin Yun and Lu Chongxing have hatred. He did not expect to meet him here. Lu Chongxing can become a spirit martial realm early-stage martial master at a young age. His status in the immortal sects is also very high. He must have a powerful body protection treasure armor. Qin Yun is more surprised. He thought that the 5 great immortal sects and the 5 great star sects would not send outstanding disciples. Now they sent a top genius like Lu Chongxing. Do those immortal sects think that a guy like Lu Chongxing is invincible in this place? Qin Yun chased, and he also had the idea of fighting several times in his heart. However, he was extremely cautious because none of these 20 people are weak. They are the top young disciples in the sect, and they all have good body protection treasure armor. Especially those in the early stage spirit martial realm, their aura is very strong. After the little deer was surrounded, there was no place to run, and it looked very pitiful. This kind person, save me. The little deer suddenly sent a sound transmission to Qin Yun. Qin Yun heard the sound transmission of the little deer, and he was shocked. He used the power of shadow to hide, but he was still discovered by the little deer. You just chased me for a long time and did not attack me. You are a rare kind person, quickly save me. The voice of the little deer is filled with despair and pleading. Lu Chongxing suddenly laughed and said, Catch this little thing alive and we will make a great contribution. Qin Yun gritted his teeth, and quickly used the Heavenly Lion summoning technique to summon 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions. As soon as the 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions appeared, they roared, and the terrible Heavenly Lion roar shook the silent night sky. The birds and beasts in the forest were alarmed. It seems to be Heavenly Lions, and there are 2 of them. Suddenly someone shouted, I heard the roar of the Heavenly Lion from the recording shell. Is it the legendary Dragon Slayer Heavenly Lion? That was great. Let's take this little thing and slaughter the Heavenly Lions. Lu Chongxing is not afraid at all. His proud handsome face is full of excitement. Qin Yun quickly let the 2 Heavenly Lions fly over, and used the Heavenly Lion roar. At the same time, he used the sound wave attack, and the lion claws fiercely attacked, and used the Heavenly Lion fighting Dragon Claw. The Nether Realm Heavenly Lion's mouth is also constantly spewing out a black flame. Stay away from the Heavenly Lions, carry out a long-range attack, and properly arrange the formation. A man who looks a little older quickly commanded. Because the 2 Heavenly Lions suddenly rushed in, it also disrupted Lu Chongxing's team. The little deer was able to escape. Qin Yun did not want the Heavenly Lions to be injured too much. He just fought with Lu Chongxing for a while, and quickly fled and returned to the Nether Realm. Nether Realm Heavenly Lions are less injured, and the speed of growth will be much faster, and you can also summon them faster. Ling Yuner said, quickly chase the little deer. Qin Yun immediately chased after it. What he did not expect was that Lu Chongxing and others also continued to chase the little deer. This group of guys actually did not chase the Heavenly Lions. It is really not easy to deal with. Lu Chongxing and others are chasing very closely. After chasing for more than half an hour, the silver light spot in front suddenly stopped. The little deer actually stopped running. When he walked closer, he found that there are 7 women over there. There are 2 women who are very young and beautiful, wearing simple and neat white clothes. One of the women is elegant and smart. Her face is as beautiful as a flower and her eyes are as tender as water. Even if she is wearing a simple dress, she has a kind of peerless temperament. This woman is Feng Honglan. The little deer is curled up at her feet. The other woman had her arms crossed in front of her chest. Her beautiful face was filled with coldness. Her eyes were like stars, emitting a sharp cold aura and killing intent. It made her look slightly heroic and domineering at the same time. This is Qin Yun's wife, Xiao Yuelan. Yuelan and Honglan, they are here too. They are all 9th level martial Dao realm? Qin Yun was amazed. When Xiao Yuelan left, she was only at the 7th level martial Dao realm. The 5 women around Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan are all middle-aged women. Their appearance is relatively ordinary, but they all have the aura of the early-stage spirit martial realm. These are the people of the Nether Moon Palace. Yo, it's the girls of the Nether Moon Palace. Lu Chongxing looked back and forth at the beautiful faces of Feng Honglan and Xiao Yuelan. When these 2 women with different styles stand together, it makes people want to conquer them, especially for a top genius like Lu Chongxing. Qin Yun hid in the darkness and watched quietly. Let's go. Xiao Yuelan did not want to pay attention to this group of people and snorted coldly. Wait. You can go, but the little thing stays. We met it first. Lu Chongxing shouted with a cold face. So what if you met it first? But in the end we got it. You have to blame yourself for not having the ability to catch the deer immediately. Xiao Yuelan sneered coldly. Lu Chongxing's face changed and he said coldly, I am the main sect disciple of medicine Immortal Valley. Lu Chongxing, you little girl, give me some respect. What about medicine Immortal Valley? When Xiao Yuelan heard the name Lu Chongxing, she immediately knew that this is Qin Yun's enemy, and she hated him even more. Chapter 546 546 Chapter 546 Yuelan's anger. Feng Honglan and Xiao Yuelan are stunned. They don't understand why these sisters are so respectful to the arrogant guys of medicine Immortal Valley. Why should I apologize? Xiao Yuelan is very dissatisfied. Sister Yuelan, he is a genius of medicine Immortal Valley. He entered the spirit martial realm at a young age and became a martial master. He is also an excellent disciple of Wood Star Palace. Yes, he is a disciple of Immortal Sect. You can't be so rude to him. We are disciples of Nether Moon Palace. We have to be polite. Several middle-aged sisters have accused Xiao Yuelan. The slightly shorter middle-aged sister looked at Feng Honglan and shouted, Honglan, quickly catch the deer and give it to Lu Gongzi. Feng Honglan frowned and snorted, not giving. As she spoke, she used her power and gently sent the deer to the distance. The deer suddenly ran far away. You bitch! The middle-aged senior sister shouted angrily. She quickly walked over and fiercely slapped Feng Honglan's gentle and beautiful face. Seeing Feng Honglan being beaten, Qin Yun's heart suddenly rose in anger. You dare to hit Honglan? Xiao Yuelan also shouted. She abruptly took out a saber and slashed at the middle-aged senior sister's arm like a bolt of lightning. Lu Chongxing and others were also shocked by Xiao Yuelan's actions. They thought that Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan, these 2 girls were young and ignorant, and they were not afraid of their medicine Immortal Valley. But now it seems that they are not even afraid of their own sex sister. Xiao Yuelon, are you crazy? Several middle-aged sisters quickly surrounded Xiao Yuelon and Feng Honglan. You are the crazy ones. You actually hit Honglan. I am not finished with you. Xiao Yuelon and Feng Honglan have been together for so long, but they are like sisters. She also knows that Feng Honglan is gentle and kind, so she takes good care of Feng Honglan. Qin Yun was not surprised by Xiao Yuelon's actions. If Xiao Yuelon was humble, it would not be Xiao Yuelon. Lu Chongxing sneered. Several sisters, do you need me to help you take down these two little girls? No need for the time being. Young Master Lu, please don't worry. We will definitely make them apologize to you. The middle-aged senior sister with a broken arm politely said to Lu Chongxing, and then fiercely looked at Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon said angrily, Apologize? No way. Unless you kill me. Feng Honglan was also very angry after being slapped. She shouted softly, I really didn't expect that in order to curry favor with the disciples of the immortal sect, you would treat us like this? Shut up. Being polite to the disciples of the immortal sect is what we should do. Now that you've let the little dear escape, it's a loss to young Master Lu. How are you going to compensate us? If you don't pay, don't even think about leaving. The middle-aged senior sister whose arm was chopped off said coldly. Lu Chongxing said with a wretched smile, Let them be my concubines. You bastard, shut up. Xiao Yuelon immediately cursed. Xiao Yuelon, it is your good fortune that young Master Lu has taken a fancy to you. Why don't you hurry up and serve them obediently? The middle-aged senior sister sneered. Why are you so despicable? Xiao Yuelon glared at the middle-aged senior sisters. At the same time, several middle-aged senior sisters of the Nether Moon Palace quickly took out many flags and inserted them nearby. You can't run away, hurry to calm the anger of young Master Lu. A middle-aged senior sister, her face was full of a sinister smile. Xiao Yuelon and Feng Honglan, young and beautiful, and their qualifications are very high. They suddenly entered the Nether Moon Palace, but it caused the jealousy of some female disciples. These middle-aged senior sisters are very jealous. Moreover, they are the kind of people who are greedy for vanity, so they try to please Lu Chongxing, so that they have the opportunity to get close to the people in the immortal sect. Qin Yun quickly summoned 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions. After the Nether Realm Heavenly Lions appeared, they roared, and after the aura rushed over, Lu Chongxing and others frowned. Xiao Yuelon was pleasantly surprised. She knew that it was Qin Yun's Nether Realm Heavenly Lions. After Qin Yun covered his face, he quickly flew over and threw a Thunder Xian talisman. Boom! After a loud noise, Lu Chongxing and others flew away. Qin Yun had to admit that these excellent disciples of Immortal Sect and Star Sect are very strong in all aspects. They can avoid the attack of the Thunder Xian talisman at once, and they can avoid being affected. Kill! Lu Chongxing shouted coldly and quickly took out a weapon, which is a very powerful Xian tool. Many spirit martial realm also attacked one after another and hit Qin Yun with various weapons and Xian talismans. Boom, boom, boom. Qin Yun did not expect this group of people to react so quickly, and they were also so willing to fight. All of a sudden he was hit by many Xian tools and Xian talismans. In the blink of an eye, he was drowned in an explosion. Xiao Yuelon hurriedly used her penetration divine ability and brought Feng Honglan through the barrier. It was also because of Qin Yun's appearance that Xiao Yuelon was able to run away from Lu Chongxing and others. Xiao Yun, there are more than 10 spirit martial realm here. They are all very strong. Let's go. Xiao Yuelon quickly sent a voice transmission to Qin Yun. Qin Yun rushed out of the explosion. Although his body was cracked by the explosion, he can still use the power of shadow. After Xiao Yuelon ran out of the formation, she waved her saber and killed several disciples of Medicine, Immortal Valley, and Wood Star Palace. Qin Yun ran in front with Feng Honglan, and Xiao Yuelon brought up the rear. Yuelon, should we fight it out with them? Qin Yun promptly asked with voice transmission. Don't. They still have people nearby. You were injured just now, let's go first. Although Xiao Yuelon is sometimes reckless, in the face of a dangerous situation, she is still relatively calm. She also used her shadow power and followed behind Qin Yun and company. Not long after they left, there were many auras of spirit martial realm, which can be seen as the reinforcement of Lu Chongxing. How many people have come from those immortal sects? Qin Yun ran with Feng Honglan while repairing the damaged heavenly lion Xian body. I heard that each immortal sect has more than a dozen martial masters in the early stage of spirit martial realm, divided into many teams. Xiao Yuelon said, even our Nether Moon Palace has almost 10 spirit martial realm. At dawn, they found a big hole in a tree and hid there. Qin Yun's injury seems to be more serious, but it is only the heavenly lion Xian body injury. The internal organs and Dao core in the body are fine. I am fine, I will be fine after a rest. Qin Yun is next to the tree hole, absorbing the 9 suns' spiritual energy. Feng Honglan walked over and delivered internal force to Qin Yun. She sighed. I didn't expect that there would be such a senior sister in the Nether Moon Palace. You know a person's face but you don't know his heart. I usually get along well with them. I really didn't expect that they would kneel and lick the disciples of immortal sects. Xiao Yuelon snorted. Feng Honglan was very happy to meet Qin Yun, but when she saw him injured, she was distressed. I am going to patrol outside. Honglan, you heal Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuelon said and left the tree hole. Qin Yun shook his head and said, I think you can leave the Nether Moon Palace. In the Nether Moon Palace, there should be many disciples who have the same virtue as those senior sisters. I don't know the specifics, because we haven't been in the Nether Moon Palace for a long time. Feng Honglan was also a little worried. Just now, they wanted to give us to Lu Chongxing to play with. This is too vicious. The upper beam is not straight, the lower beam is crooked. In the Nether Moon Palace, there must be some high-level people who have such an attitude towards immortal sects. Qin Yun said, after you go back and discuss, leave the Nether Moon Palace quickly. I will arrange for you to enter Demon Moon Island. Demon Moon Island dared to issue a bounty for the 2 patriarchs of the Long and Yang families, which shows that they are fearless and certainly not afraid of those immortal sections. Okay. Feng Honglan nodded. Yenying, Sister Lan, are they okay? Qin Yun asked. It's okay, they didn't come. When I go back, I will go to them to discuss and leave the Nether Moon Palace together. Feng Honglan thought of those vicious senior sisters, and she was very angry. Yueme seems to have joined the Nether Moon Palace? Qin Yun missed this little troublemaker. She just promised verbally. As soon as she came to the Spirit Desolate, she ran away. Feng Honglan smiled. The Nether Moon Palace can't restrain her. What about Sister Steamed Bun and Water Fairy? Are they also in the Nether Moon Palace? Qin Yun and Water Fairy agreed to let her be a follower. Although they all said that they wanted to join the Nether Moon Palace, when they came to the Spirit Desolate, they left with Sister Xianqin, saying that they wanted to travel the Spirit Desolate. Feng Honglan said. Qin Yun sighed. They are quite free and unfettered. In this way, Feng Honglan and Qin Yun chatted while healing. Lu Chongxing and dozens of others were searching the jungle. What is the background of the black-clothed man who suddenly appeared? He was hit by 20 or 30 Xian talismans and nothing happened. Isn't it? Even if it is the late stage or peak spirit martial realm, it is impossible to run away so easily after being hit by so many Xian talismans. This guy must be a disciple of an immortal sect. Does he know those 2 bitches? We must investigate it clearly. Lu Chongxing and several disciples of the Medicine Immortal Valley discussed that Xiao Yuelon killed the disciples of our Medicine Immortal Valley, and we have issued a wanted order. When we first came in, there was an agreement that we can't kill each other. If there is a situation of killing each other, all the disciples of the sects must unite to hunt down the murderer. These disciples, thinking that Xiao Yuelan was very decisive to cut off the arm of her senior sister, they were secretly shocked. And the disciples of their medicine Immortal Valley and Wood Star Palace were also killed by Xiao Yuelan. Of course, what they are most worried about is that the masked black-clothed man who suddenly appeared, carrying so many Xian talismans, is certainly not an ordinary person. Just as Lu Chongxing and others were searching, the sound transmission conch suddenly trembled. Someone found Xiao Yuelan. Lu Chongxing was pleasantly surprised. Let's hurry over. Later, the people who were searching here rushed to the place where Xiao Yuelan appeared. Xiao Yuelan was outside, and she did not expect so many people to catch her. Chapter 547. Attack again. The captain of each team has a specially refined sound transmission conch. They only know the appearance of Xiao Yuelan and Yu Wulan through the description of the sound transmission. Xiao Yuelan's characteristics are more obvious, so it is easy to recognize. Xiao Yuelan is worried that someone will approach the area, so she is patrolling outside. If someone approaches and secretly sets up a formation to capture Qin Yun and the others, it will be troublesome. Xiao Yuelan thought that as long as it is not Lu Chongxing's group, nothing will happen. Now, the 10 or so people who had met her had surrounded her. Are you Xiao Yuelan? The captain is a young man in black, named Yang Hanqin, a child of the Yang family and also an outer sect disciple of Immortal Weapon City. There are more than a dozen people in this team, including Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan. They all have enmity with the Yang family, so they do not want to follow this captain. After they came in, these temporary disciples were assigned, and they must obey orders. Furthermore, there were people guarding the exit. If you are restless inside, don't even think about going out. Of course, the people of the Yang family and the Long family dare not do anything. After all, the strength of Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan is still very strong. Xiao Yuelan glanced at the group of people and said coldly, "What if I am, what if I am not? If you are Xiao Yuelan, then hurry up and surrender. You killed the outer sect disciple of medicine Immortal Valley, no one can save you." Yang Hanqin sneered. "It is those guys who want to attack me. Do you also want to accompany those guys who were killed by me?" Xiao Yuelan took out a long saber. Yang Hanqin was about to attack. Tian Ruling quickly shouted, "Captain, wait!" "What? You want to go?" Yang Hanqin said coldly. "You want to steal the credit?" "No, she is very dangerous, we can't deal with her. You have already informed others, we just need to evacuate." Tian Ruling also felt the terror of Xiao Yuelan. As a member of this team, she naturally has to think about the entire team, because she does not want to face Xiao Yuelan. "You are afraid of death, I am not afraid." Yang Hanqin sneered, looked at the other team members and said, "These two women are not going, we are going, kill." With that said, Yang Hanqin quickly rushed over. Xiao Yuelan laughed disdainfully, "A bunch of trash." As she spoke, her mental power surged out, forming a gust of wind. This was the power of the spirit concentration kill. Yang Hanqin and the other 10 people were suddenly attacked by the violent spiritual force storm, their heads were dizzy and painful. Xiao Yuelan used the power of her transparent martial spirit to make herself transparent and disappear into the dust. Following that, a series of screams could be heard. Yang Hanqin's group of more than 10 inexplicable saber wounds appeared on their bodies. Their bodies were covered in ghastly scars. When Tian Ruling saw this, she quickly retreated with Yu Wulan. The two of them felt that they were rather terrifying women, but this Xiao Yuelan in front of them was even more powerful than them. "Go. You don't have the intention to kill me, so I won't kill you." Xiao Yuelan had also heard that Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan had a good relationship with Qin Yun, but she had never seen them before. Therefore, she did not know that the two beautiful women in front of her were Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan. The people of Nether Moon Palace are here. After Xiao Yuelon sensed them, she quickly made her body transparent. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon knew that Xiao Yuelon was still nearby. Especially Yu Wulon, she has a strange sense that can sense the existence of Xiao Yuelon. After Xiao Yuelon became transparent, she leaned against a big tree and did not dare to move. Not long after, the middle-aged senior sisters of Nether Moon Palace came here. They saw the bodies on the ground and their faces suddenly changed. You too, how come nothing happened? The middle-aged senior sister with a broken arm looked at Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon and asked coldly. The captain did not let us attack, so we hid in the distance. Yu Wulon quickly said. Xiao Yuelon did it. A middle-aged senior sister went to check and said coldly. The middle-aged senior sister with a broken arm walked towards Yu Wulon and asked. Quickly say, where did Xiao Yuelon go? Went there. Yu Wulon quickly pointed in a direction. These middle-aged senior sisters of Nether Moon Palace were about to leave when they found something wrong. This girl lied to us. There is no aura of Xiao Yuelon over there. Xiao Yuelon should still be nearby. The middle-aged senior sister with a broken arm was meticulous and found something at once. Tie them up. As soon as she finished speaking, a few ropes were released. The ropes were like light, hitting the fleeing Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon and tying them up at once. Humph! You still want to run? The senior sister with a broken arm sneered. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon were tied to a relatively thin big tree. Senior sister, these two women seem very familiar. A tall and thin middle-aged senior sister suddenly took out 2 pieces of paper. It's them. Great, it turned out to be Yu Wulon and Tian Ruling. These are 2 big treasures. If we hand them over to the Yang and Long families, we will definitely make a lot of money. We made a big profit. The senior sister with a broken arm shouted. You guys have no vision. These 2 women are very important to Qin Yun. If we use them to force Qin Yun out, that would be a big profit. Xiao Yuelon, who was hiding, was secretly alarmed when she learned that it was Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon. Stop dreaming. We would rather commit suicide than let you succeed, Tian Ruling said coldly. Her abdomen suddenly swelled up. Hurry up and stop her. The senior sister with a broken arm shouted and shot out a wave of energy that struck Tian Ruling's body. Tian Ruling's Dao core exploded normally, but the condensed power was scattered. At this moment, the 2 middle-aged senior sisters also quickly guarded Tian Ruling and Yu Wulon, not allowing them to act recklessly. Xiao Yuelon secretly admired Tian Ruling's decisiveness. She said she would self-destruct without even blinking. Slut, don't even think about dying. Don't worry, when young Master Lu comes, I will let him enjoy the 2 of you. The senior sister with a broken arm laughed sinisterly. A middle-aged senior sister also fiercely slapped Tian Ruling in the face. Yu Wulon immediately became furious and spat at the senior sister with a broken arm. You ugly woman! Even if I strip you and throw you on the street, no one will touch you. You fox spirit, quickly strip her naked. The senior sister with a broken arm was so angry that her face twisted. Soon, a middle-aged senior sister walked over. Just as she was about to tear off Yu Wulon's clothes, a faint breeze suddenly blew over. Plop! The head of the middle-aged senior sister suddenly fell down. Xiao Yuelon made her move. She quietly sneaked over and chopped off the head of the middle-aged senior sister with a saber strike. It's Xiao Yuelon, she's here. The senior sister with a broken arm shouted. Just as she finished shouting, Xiao Yuelon rushed towards the middle-aged senior sister, who was guarding Tian Ruling, and slashed with her saber. Because they were vigilant, they were able to guard against it. After all, they are all experienced spirit martial realm martial artists, and they immediately became vigilant. The senior sister with a broken arm sprinkled a special kind of black-red light powder. Xiao Yuelon's body was stained with the powder, and also exposed her whereabouts. Surround and kill her. The senior sister with a broken arm shouted and quickly used her sword to stab. The 4 middle-aged senior sisters are all at the early stage of the spirit martial realm. They are extremely powerful, and suddenly a fierce battle broke out. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan are also secretly shocked. Because Xiao Yuelan is only at the 9th level martial Dao realm, and she is actually able to fight against 4 martial artists at the early stage of the spirit martial realm. This kind of aptitude could be considered top-notch. As long as she steps into the spirit martial realm, she will definitely be a rare genius. Xiao Yuelan, you run by yourself, don't worry about us. Yu Wulan quickly shouted. The captains of the entire heavenly beast desolate domain are chasing you everywhere, and the people nearby will come soon. You can rest assured that they dare not do anything to us. The master of our saber sword villa is not a vegetarian. Tian Ruling quickly persuaded. Xiao Yuelan can resist the 4 spirit martial realm, but after a long time, others will come over. Tian Ruling, Yu Wulan? How did you get tied up? Ha ha. The person who came suddenly turned out to be Long Yuetao of Medicine Immortal Valley. Great! You are mine. Long Yuetao took more than a dozen people and rushed over. They heard movement here in the distance and knew that Xiao Yuelan was here. Xiao Yuelan was furious and shouted, "You dare to touch them, I will let you die very miserably." Xiao Yuelan, you can't protect yourself. Long Yuetao laughed. Xiao Yuelan gritted her teeth and just wanted to summon the Nether Realm Mad Dragon. She heard the roar of the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion. Qin Yun and Feng Honglan were in the tree hole and also heard the sound of fighting in the distance. Qin Yun quickly summoned the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion. Others did not know that the Heavenly Lion was summoned and only regarded it as a heavenly beast here, which could play a deterrent role. Also at this time, a few throwing knives flew over and the speed was very fast, stabbing the 4 middle-aged senior sisters. Seeing those throwing knives, Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan found it hard to believe that this is true. They are very familiar with it. It is the throwing knives used by Qin Yun. Qin Yun can't enter the heavenly beast desolate domain, but now, his throwing knives appeared here. Those throwing knives disturbed several middle-aged senior sisters, distracting them, and Xiao Yuelan also took advantage of this to display the Wind Slayer 6 style. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan are also very familiar with this Wind Slayer 6 style. They suddenly thought that Xiao Yuelan and Qin Yun have a certain relationship, so she can display the Wind Slayer 6 style and use the same throwing knives as Qin Yun. They don't believe that Qin Yun can come in. Big Brother Long, the heavenly beast is coming. It seems to be a heavenly lion. A young man whispered. Mother, this heavenly lion is very strong. Long Yuetao whispered. He looked at Tian Ruling, who was tied to the tree and was very unwilling to swing his knife because he originally wanted to play with Tian Ruling. Go to hell, Tian Ruling. When Long Yuetao's knife came down, suddenly a black knife appeared. Chapter 548. 548 Chapter 548 Team Goblin Long Yuetao saw the knife engraved with Dao runes and suddenly thought of Qin Yun. You are Qin Yun! Long Yuetao shouted and slashed at Qin Yun. The 9 Sun Divine Hammer suddenly appeared in Qin Yun's other hand and fiercely smashed down. The impact of the 9 Sun Divine Hammer smashed Long Yuetao's Xian saber. The hammer's momentum was powerful, with a violent shock force. It fell on Long Yuetao's chest. Boom! After Long Yuetao was smashed, a big hole was opened in his back and a blood mist splashed out. Even if he was wearing armor, he still could not resist the attack of the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. Everyone was shocked. They did not expect Qin Yun to be here. Qin Yun, how could you be here? You can't kill me! Long Yuetao looked at the big hole in his back and said in horror and unwillingness, Why is it not possible? Qin Yun's voice appeared and he also appeared. He held a knife in one hand and a hammer in the other. The knife in his hand slashed across and Long Yuetao's head was cut off. The middle-aged senior sisters were all terrified. Long Yuetao is one of the top geniuses of medicine, Immortal Valley, and also a Xian inscription master, but now he was killed by Qin Yun. The sudden appearance of Feng Honglan also freed Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling. The disciples who followed Long Yuetao are also temporary disciples and outer sect disciples, only 9th level martial Dao realm cultivation. They all immediately fled. Tian Ruling held the Cold Cloud Saber, and Yu Wulan also took out the Willow Moon Saber and rushed over together. The flying people were also stopped by 2 fierce Nether Realm Heavenly Lion. Nether Realm Heavenly Lions can kill a person with 1 claw. Qin Yun, who is at 9th level Martial Dao Realm, even during the day, can summon powerful Nether Realm Heavenly Lions and can also fight against early stage Spirit Martial Realm. 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions intercepted, Tian Ruling, Yu Wulan and Feng Honglan pursued and killed more than a dozen disciples at once. Tian Ruling rushed to Xiao Yuelan and used the power of ice to freeze the middle-aged sisters for a short time. Subsequently, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan both used their strongest power to launch a crazy attack. Qin Yun can kill one with 1 hammer. After he killed 2, Xiao Yuelan also killed 2. Qin Yun hurriedly extracted his martial spirit. They were all platinum and purple gold martial spirit. Although they were of high grade, they were rather ordinary. Clean up all the bodies, don't let people know that we killed Long Yuetao. Xiao Yuelan said. That guy has 8 spirit vein, purple gold wind and fire martial spirit. If Medicine Immortal Valley knows about this, they will definitely go crazy. Qin Yun immediately controlled the 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions to randomly fight here and take out some other traces. Alright, let's hurry up and leave. Who knows how many people they will send? After Qin Yun was done, he quickly ran away. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan were extremely happy to meet Qin Yun here. At the same time, he is also very curious about the relationship between Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan. He is curious about how Qin Yun entered. After half a day, Qin Yun and the 4 beautiful women finally stopped to rest. They hid in a hole in a big tree and hid very well. I'm finally safe. Xiao Yuelan stretched her back. Big sister, second sister, you haven't been discovered. You are still safe for the time being. As long as you find a team from Immortal Weapon City, you can join them. Qin Yun said. 2 sisters, I almost implicated you. I am really sorry. Xiao Yuelan smiled sweetly at Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan. Xiao Yuelan usually looks ice cold, just like Tian Ruling. However, in private, she also has a charming and gentle side. Yuelan is my wife. Qin Yun pinched Xiao Yuelan's face and laughed. Xiao Yuelan opened Qin Yun's hand and said coquettishly, You really have a wife? I thought you were lying to me. Yu Wulan now knows that Xiao Yuelan is from Nether Moon Palace. She is very curious about how Qin Yun hooked up with the disciples of Nether Moon Palace. Tian Ruling said, Xiao Yun, how did you come in? I opened a space channel. It's complicated and dangerous. Qin Yun said, In short, I came in safely. This kid, as long as he wants to go, there is nothing that can't stop him. Xiao Yuelan smiled. Big sister, second sister, you are temporary disciples of Immortal Weapon City. Whether you can become outer sect disciples of Immortal Weapon City depends on whether you can get Heavenly Beast Bones. Qin Yun said. That's simple. Can't we find 2 Heavenly Beast Bones? Xiao Yuelan smiled. Xiao Yun, do you also plan to enter Immortal Weapon City? I'm not sure about this. Qin Yun sighed. Yuelan, it will be very hard for you. You should have your own mission when you come in. Tian Ruling smiled lightly. I plan to find a team from Immortal Weapon City with Wulan and join them. It's best to find Jianmeng, this guy is more reliable. Qin Yun said. Those senior sisters of Nether Moon Palace are dead. They will definitely think that Honglan and I did it. We won't go back to Nether Moon Palace. Xiao Yuelan sighed. Xiao Yun, didn't you say that you can recommend us to enter Demon Moon Island? How about this, big sister and second sister? go to Demon Moon Island together. Xiao Yuelan thought that she could not return to Nether Moon Palace, and felt a little sad. Because she met many good friends there. Yuelan said, "If we can enter Demon Moon Island, it will also be very good. The premise is that they are willing to accept us. So let's find some heavenly beast bones. This way we can go in righteously and convince the people inside," Xiao Yuelan said. When she entered Nether Moon Palace, it aroused the jealousy of many disciples and was criticized by many people, so she was very unhappy in her heart. "Alright, let's go find the people of Demon Moon Island and see what their attitude is," Qin Yun said. "I don't know if the demon team of Demon Moon Island recognizes me. Among the demons of Demon Moon Island, I only know that Fox Elder. Our aptitude is so good, Demon Moon Island will definitely accept us," Xiao Yuelan said. "Don't be careful, there will always be a way out. Rest well, your injuries are not completely healed yet." They rested for a day and began their journey to find the people of Demon Moon Island. In Demon Moon Island, there are mainly demon beasts and fairies in human form. And the number of humans is relatively small. However, for humans with good aptitude, Demon Moon Island has never refused. Qin Yun took out a talisman, and according to the guidance of the talisman, he looked for the female disciples of Demon Moon Island. This talisman was given to him by Hu Jingxian. When he needed help, he could use this talisman to find the nearby disciples of Demon Moon Island. The number of heavenly beasts in the jungle is pitiful. They have been traveling here for 2 or 3 days, and they haven't even seen a hair of a heavenly beast. It was very rare to see a small deer before. They couldn't find a heavenly beast, but they found the people of Demon Moon Island. It is a hot noon by the river under a waterfall. The disciples of Demon Moon Island are all women. There are only 5 of them, and they are resting by the river. The captain is a fat ant. It is hard to tell whether she is a human or a demon. 2 of the 4 women following her have tails, a leopard tail and a wolf tail. The other 2 are completely in human form. Tian ruling Qin Yun Yuelan? The fat ant quickly took out a few wanted posters, so she recognized them immediately, but she did not mean to attack. "Greetings, 5 big sisters. Do you know Hu Jingxian and Elder Hu?" Qin Yun asked with a smile, but he is secretly vigilant. "Of course I know her. She is one of the best elders of our Demon Moon Island." The fat ant asked with some doubt, "What's wrong?" Qin Yun took out the talisman and said, "This was given to me by Elder Hu. She told me to look for you if I have any difficulties." The fat ant took it and looked at it. She said in surprise, "This talisman is also Elder Hu's Fox Immortal token. Seeing this talisman is like seeing her herself." "So it's like that. It seems like it's really precious." Qin Yun sighed slightly. "Isn't that so? It seems like Elder Hu trusts you very much." The fat ant looked at Qin Yun with a strange expression. The 4 female disciples beside her also had strange expressions in their eyes. "If you have any difficulties, just say it. We will definitely do our best to help you." The fat ant is also very easy to talk to. She is a martial master at the early stage of the spirit martial realm, and she is also very strong. "Big sister, this is Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan," Qin Yun said. "Greetings, big sister, greetings, big sisters." Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan quickly greeted the people of Demon Moon Island. The people of Demon Moon Island suddenly froze. They really didn't expect that Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan of the Nether Moon Palace would actually mix with Qin Yun. You betrayed the Nether Moon Palace?" the leopard-tailed woman asked in a low voice. "Also, Qin Yun should not be able to come in, but why is he here?" the wolf-tailed woman also asked curiously. "There are a few evil women in the Nether Moon Palace who want to offer me and Honglan to Lu Chongxing as playthings, so we resisted." Xiao Yuelan was very angry when she talked about this. Feng Honglan asked, "We want to join Demon Moon Island now, but we are being chased by many people. I don't know if you will accept us? Of course, your qualifications are not bad and you are recommended by Elder Hu. The fat ant looked at Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan and asked, "Two little girls, do you also want to enter Demon Moon Island?" Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan also nodded. Don't worry, our Demon Moon Island is very harmonious internally, unlike other sects who fight to the death. The fat ant smiled happily. Following that, Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan changed their appearances, making it impossible for others to see their original appearances. Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan also carried out simple makeup and were not recognized. The fat ant's name is Yao Min and she is actually a bear demon. She took out a sound transmission conch and said, "There has been a sound transmission in the past few days, saying that a large mansion has been found. Let's go and see. Heavenly Beast, desolate domain, no one has come in before. There is actually a mansion here? Then let's go and see," Qin Yun said. Although Demon Moon Island agreed to allow Xiao Yuelan and the other 4 women to join, they also want to make some contributions. The killing of Long Yuetao and others also caused a great shock. Chapter 549 Mysterious Immortal Mansion. Chapter 549 Mysterious Immortal Mansion. Qin Yun learned from the female disciple of Demon Moon Island that some people entered the Heavenly Beast desolate domain very early. Those people are the main sect disciples of various sections. After they came in, they also found some things, but they could not find any powerful heavenly beast. Other beasts can be found, but those beasts have no effect on them. The people who first entered this place from the major sects are also responsible for passing on a lot of news. Therefore, after they found a mansion, they also spread the news and let many people go over. As for what is in that mansion, there is no detail. Gathering more people was just to get a share of the spoils. After you go over, don't make a sound, so as not to be recognized, Yao Min told Qin Yun and the others. They walked through the jungle and rushed through the night. It took 2 days and finally came to the outside of the mansion. The mansion is not very big, it looks a bit dilapidated and the walls are entangled with all kinds of dense grass vines. But the inside is very clean. The grass vines can't enter the mansion because there is a strong barrier outside. Looking down from the air, it can be seen that there are no grass vines and other messy things in the yard. The door of the mansion is closed and it has been cleaned by many people, but there are many roots of grass vines on the ground. Many people stood at the gate, they were discussing the matter of this mansion. Qin Yun just arrived and heard someone make a puzzled voice. Wasn't the Heavenly Beast desolate domain discovered? How can there be a mansion here? The person who built the mansion must be very strong. That barrier is terrible. We have been attacking it for several days and we can't break it. We can only wait for more people to come and then attack together to see what is inside. This powerful defense of the mansion seemed to be hiding something good inside, causing many people to become restless. Qin Yun looked at the barrier of the mansion and wanted to try to use the mysterious penetration divine ability to go in, but there are too many people here, so he can only wait until night. However, just as Qin Yun explored the barrier with his mental force, the door suddenly opened. Qin Yun was shocked. He just seemed to feel that the door was touched by his mental force and opened. The tightly shut gates suddenly opened, causing many of the teams to let out startled cries. Qin Yun looked at these teams and did not see anyone he was familiar with. Lu Chongxing is also not here. He may still be on the way. Why did the door suddenly open? Quick, go in and take a look. A middle-aged man suddenly flew over. However, when he was 2 to 3 meters away from the gate, he was blocked by a spirit formation. The middle-aged man was furious. He slapped the barrier with his palm, creating a shock wave. What was even more frightening was that the middle-aged man was also sent flying by a force. This caused the crowd to let out a series of cries of terror. You know, the people who come to the Heavenly Beast desolate domain Only those temporary disciples are under the age of 30 and are at the 9th level of the martial Tao realm. The others were all outstanding disciples of the various sections. There were martial artists at the 9th level of the martial Tao realm and the spirit realm. As for that middle-aged man, he was a very strong early-stage martial master. However, he was injured by the barrier. What a strange mansion! I can't even get in! The middle-aged man cursed. Everyone thought that after the gate was opened, the barrier would also disappear. But now, the barrier had become even stronger, and it could even reflect power. The ancient mansion seemed to be empty, but there was a powerful barrier around it. It is even more doubtful that there is something good inside. This matter has been told to the elders in the sect. What did they say? A young man asked the middle-aged man beside him. They don't know what's going on. They just want us to find a way to go in and explore. The middle-aged man replied. Qin Yun carefully looked at the plaque above the gate. Because of the age, the words on the plaque have fallen off a lot, but some details can still be seen. Heavenly Lion, Immortal Mansion. Ling Yun-er's surprised voice appeared in Qin Yun's mind. Are you sure? Qin Yun could barely see the two words, Immortal Mansion. Very sure. Ling Yun-er said. Go in and see, maybe because you have the Heavenly Lion Xian body, the door will open automatically. Qin Yun also heard Ling Yun-er's words and walked over unconsciously. Everyone also looked at him. Everyone thought that he would be blocked by the barrier. But the result was beyond everyone's expectations. Qin Yun passed through the barrier and walked into the gate. Who is the bearded man? Come out quickly. The things inside are ours. A middle-aged man, after seeing it, quickly shouted. He followed the people of Demon Moon Island. Everyone looked at Yao Min fiercely. Yao Min did not expect that Qin Yun could pass through the barrier. We met him on the road. He is a temporary disciple of Immortal Weapon City. Yao Min said quickly. Temporary disciple? Get out of here quickly. You are not allowed to go in and take the things inside. A young man saw Qin Yun walk in and shouted. Qin Yun himself also felt strange. He did not use the mysterious penetration divine ability and actually passed through the barrier. He thought about it and consciously walked out of the door. How did you get in? A middle-aged man asked loudly. When everyone saw him come out, they were also relieved. I don't know, I just walked in. Qin Yun said with a smile on his face. He changed his appearance and pasted a mustache and a goatee. His hair is also messy. Even people who are familiar with him can hardly recognize him at a glance. Really? You go in and try again. The middle-aged man said again. Qin Yun walked over again and still easily passed through the barrier. Evil bearded man. The middle-aged man was puzzled. Why can this barrier let you enter and not let us in? Do you have any treasures on you? As he spoke, the middle-aged man took out a mirror and looked at Qin Yun. He frowned and said, You don't have a spirit tool on you? Don't you have a storage bag? No. Qin Yun scratched his head and said, Then why can you go in? The middle-aged man looked at Qin Yun strangely as if he saw a ghost. I don't know either. Qin Yun thought about it and said, There was a fortune teller who said that I am special and can go back and forth between the human world and the ghost world. Is this mansion a ghost world? This made everyone feel a chill. No matter where it is, you are not allowed to enter. The middle-aged man warned loudly, If you rush in, you will be finished. Suddenly someone shouted, Tie him up. He is just a temporary disciple of Immortal Weapon City anyway. Yes, tie him up. Don't let him go in quietly. There must be a lot of treasures inside. We can't let him swallow them all. The middle-aged man also agreed, took out a special rope and walked towards Qin Yun. Bearded man, you have to be honest. As long as we can go in, we will naturally let you go. The middle-aged man sneered. Stretch out your hand. Qin Yun slowly stretched out his hand. Just as the rope was about to tie his hands, his palm slammed. But Qin Yun slapped the middle-aged man hard. Yao Min was also stunned. She thought that Qin Yun was willing to be tied up, so she did not make a move. The audience suddenly looked at Qin Yun quietly. You hit me? The middle-aged man was also stunned by this slap. I am the main sect disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley. You are just a temporary disciple and you dare to hit me? Big brother. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, there is some power controlling me. Qin Yun pretended to be frightened and then slapped again. But he hit again. Everyone also found that the speed of his palm was surprisingly fast, not the speed of a 9th-level martial Dao realm. The middle-aged man is a spirit martial realm martial master, but he could not dodge it. You are talking nonsense, the middle-aged man said angrily and punched out. Qin Yun quickly attacked and used his palm knife to hit the middle-aged man's wrist. Gotcha! The middle-aged man's wrist was immediately fractured. Ah! The middle-aged man screamed in pain. Everyone was stunned again. The temporary disciple is only at the 9th-level martial Dao realm, but he actually has such a terrifying power. Everyone had to wonder if there is some kind of power attached to this strange bearded man. I will kill you! The middle-aged man took out a long spear and stabbed at Qin Yun. Qin Yun quickly dodged. The middle-aged man continued to stab, stabbing thousands of times in an instant, shooting out waves of energy. The most terrifying thing is that Qin Yun's body constantly swayed to dodge, creating many afterimages, and actually dodged one by one. After Qin Yun cultivated the heavenly lion Xian body, his body's reaction speed is faster and his coordination is better. This kind of dodging is done by his body's natural reaction. Qin Yun dodged the middle-aged man's attack while retreating. Not long after, he retreated into the enchantment. Because the middle-aged man concentrated on his mental attack, he accidentally stabbed the enchantment 1,000 times. Shwa shwa shwa. The enchantment was attacked by a wave of energy and actually bounced back a lot of energy. The rebounded energy is also like the energy of the long spear. It instantly pierced the middle-aged man's body from top to bottom, turning him into a hornet's nest. Old Lu, a young man from the Medicine Immortal Valley, after a moment of shock, shouted angrily. Old Lu is dead. He died a horrible death and he was killed by himself. Looking at the bloody middle-aged man, everyone moved away from the enchantment of the mansion and did not dare to approach. The enchantment of the mansion seems to rebound after the door is opened. You bearded man, get out and die for me. The young man from the Medicine Immortal Valley looked at Qin Yun inside the enchantment and roared loudly. You want to kill me, I won't go out. Qin Yun said, turned his head and rushed into the door. Many people quickly floated in the air and watched him enter a big house inside the mansion. We must keep an eye on this mansion. We can't let him run out from other places. Once he comes out, we will catch him. He killed the main sect disciple of our Medicine Immortal Valley. He belongs to our Medicine Immortal Valley, don't rob him. The young man from the Medicine Immortal Valley looked at everyone with murderous intent. Why? We also had a share in the discovery of this mansion. If the bearded man comes out with treasures, we will also have a share. Yes, when the time comes, we will catch him together and we will divide it equally. Whether it is the Medicine Immortal Valley or the Immortal Weapon City, we cannot enjoy it alone. Chapter 550. Lion Soul Inheritance. Xiao Yuelan and the others just watched and did not speak. She is not worried about Qin Yun at all. Even if Qin Yun can come out, he can escape alone. More and more people are coming. Some were even just sent in to study the enchantment of this mansion. After they learned that someone had entered, they also sent the news back. There are also other teams of Immortal Weapon City here. Because the person who entered is a temporary disciple of their Immortal Weapon City, Immortal Weapon City is very concerned. After Qin Yun entered the mansion, he quickly entered a big house. The big house is also the largest building in the entire mansion. When Qin Yun was outside, he made a very careful observation. The big house is made of special pale golden stone. Because of the long time, the color of the pale golden stone has disappeared. That was why it looked a little yellowish. Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion, what the hell is inside? After Qin Yun entered the big house, he took out a glowing stone and illuminated the dark inside. After illuminating, there is an empty space all around. On the stone wall, there are many reliefs of Heavenly Lion. He is also familiar with these reliefs. They all have the characteristics of Heavenly Lion Totem. I don't know what this is. Ling Yuner shook her head. It seems to be very old. Aren't you a Nether Sun Elf? Qin Yun curled his lips. What kind of immortal mansion is this? I have never heard of it. Ling Yuner snorted. Let's go in and see what is inside. There was only an empty hall in the big house. There was nothing inside. After Qin Yun walked to the middle, he suddenly felt a slight tremor. Then, the pitch-black lobby was immediately lit up. The surrounding walls lit up with a faint golden light, illuminating the entire lobby. It's been a long time, finally someone is here. Suddenly an old voice appeared. Who are you? Qin Yun was shocked and quickly looked around. Then, in the middle position, a faint golden Heavenly Lion virtual image appeared. The illusory image of this Heavenly Lion actually gave off a very gentle and kind feeling, just like a benevolent elder. Especially the eyes of the Heavenly Lion, they are full of a kind light, the eyes are full of vicissitudes and affinity. The Heavenly Lion virtual image is not very big, its body length is only 5 or 6 meters. Overall, it looked very powerful. However, when he saw the Heavenly Lion's eyes, he felt very at ease. It was as if he was with a kind old man. Chu Binyu also looked very kind and amiable, but there was a different kind of light in his eyes. It was not the kind of natural kindness, and the virtual image of this Heavenly Lion seemed to be born very kind. Are you human? Qin Yun saw a Heavenly Lion, but he felt that it was a person. It doesn't matter who I am. What's important is that we can communicate peacefully. The Heavenly Lion's aged voice laughed heartily. Then I'll call you Senior, Qin Yun said with a smile. Senior, what exactly is this Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion? Was it built by humans? I built it back then. The Heavenly Lion said, I built this immortal mansion to wait for the younger generation to come here. But I'm a human, not your junior. Qin Yun also heard that Heavenly Lions are very rare, almost extinct. I'm also very curious, why do you have the Heavenly Lion's bloodline inheritance? Logically speaking, this kind of bloodline should not appear in humans. What's even stranger is that you actually cultivated the Heavenly Lion Xian body. The Heavenly Lion's voice is also filled with incomparable curiosity. Qin Yun simply told the old Heavenly Lion about how he obtained the Heavenly Lion's bloodline. After the Heavenly Lion finished listening, it was also amazed. Then I can only say that this is a rare opportunity. The old Heavenly Lion let out a long sigh. Senior, did the Heavenly Lions encounter a disaster? Qin Yun asked curiously. Why are there so few of them? It's not a disaster. It's just that our luck was too good and it led to the extinction of our clan. The old Heavenly Lion sighed when he talked about this matter. Good luck? Clan annihilation? Qin Yun was baffled. The old Heavenly Lion said, Let's put it this way. Our Heavenly Lions were very strong in the past, almost invincible in the 9 Desolate, intimidating other beasts. Later, we were named the Divine Beast Clan and I was invited to enter the Divine Desolate. Originally, all of this seemed very good, but later I learned that, after I went to the Divine Desolate, the Heavenly Lions in the Immortal Desolate and Sacred Desolate were all killed. And I was also sealed in a sun and became a sun-suppressing divine beast. Sun-suppressing divine beast? Qin Yun thought of the 9th Heaven Xian Sparrow. Senior, Is the ninth heaven Xian sparrow a sun-suppressing divine beast? Qin Yun asked. No, the ninth heaven Xian sparrow is a sun soul. My duty was to guard the sun soul and not let the sun soul escape, but in the end, I still couldn't guard it, so I was also punished and sealed in the sun forever. The old heavenly lion sighed helplessly. Many years have passed, I didn't expect that the remnant soul I left here would be awakened by someone. The old heavenly lion was only a heavenly beast back then. He turned into a human here and then built this mansion. He also set up a very strong barrier, and then rushed all the way into the divine desolate. It can be seen that this has happened for a very long time. Qin Yun feels that it is a miracle that this mansion still exists. You, a human, can cultivate the heavenly lion bloodline and heavenly lion Xian body. It can be considered the only bloodline of our heavenly lion clan in the Nine Desolate. Since that's the case, I will give this remnant soul to you. The old heavenly lion said. Remnant soul? Qin Yun doesn't know what use the remnant soul has. This remnant soul only has a trace of my spirit, and it will soon be obliterated. Then you can use the remnant soul as a beast soul, and it also has some of my cultivation experience. Maybe it will be useful to you. The old heavenly lion said. If you need it, you can also temporarily borrow the heavenly lion saint power, which can improve your strength a lot. However, your body will also suffer great pain, and it will take a period of time before you can use it again. After the old heavenly lion finished speaking, the virtual image gradually became smaller and finally turned into a very small heavenly lion beast soul. Qin Yun quickly caught the heavenly lion beast soul and absorbed it into his body through the soul refining technique. Xiao Yun, it's best to use this as your bone spirit. Ling Yun suddenly said. You have the heavenly lion bloodline, heavenly lion totem, and heavenly lion Xian body. If the bone spirit is the heavenly lion bone spirit, it would be perfect. When attacking the spirit martial realm, after the bone spirit opens, it needs to integrate a powerful beast soul to strengthen the bone spirit, and at the same time, it can also obtain the power of the beast soul. But now, Qin Yun has not reached the stage of spirit opening. He can only temporarily keep the heavenly lion beast soul in the nether sundao core. As long as I open the spirit successfully, I can immediately integrate the heavenly lion beast soul and condense the bone spirit. Qin Yun can't wait to refine more bone spirit Xian pills now, but the herbs are not enough. What he didn't expect is that the enchantment of the heavenly lion immortal mansion suddenly disappeared. After the people outside felt it, they rushed in. They first rushed into the big house. As soon as they entered, they saw that it was empty and the four walls are heavenly lion relief. In the middle, only Qin Yun stood there. Bearded man, you actually emptied everything here. Someone shouted angrily. Quickly hand over the things. I didn't get anything, I don't have a spirit tool on me. If you don't believe me, you can check it. I just accidentally touched a mechanism and the enchantment closed. Qin Yun also felt a headache and thought of a way to get out. A middle-aged man quickly stepped forward and said, I am the main sect disciple of Immortal Weapon City, Kuming Jiang. You can rest assured that I will protect you. Whether you get anything or not, our Immortal Weapon City will not take anything from you. Immortal Weapon City, what you said is really nice. Ha ha ha, maybe after you go back, you will use torture to force him to hand over those treasures. Someone sneered. Kuming Jiang was not angry and calmly said, Our Immortal Weapon City is not as dirty and sinister as you. There is really nothing in it. If you don't believe me, I can let you search. Qin Yun only got the heavenly lion beast soul. This is what you said. Kuming Jiang, you go to the side. A young man quickly came over, took out a piece of jade, and patted Qin Yun back and forth. Then there were several young people who used their equipment to check Qin Yun's body. If Qin Yun's body has a spirit tool or something, it will definitely be found. The middle-aged man who died in the Medicine Immortal Valley checked that Qin Yun did not even have a storage spirit tool. After checking several times, those people really did not find anything on Qin Yun's body. It's really evil. A middle-aged man frowned. They just saw that Qin Yun entered this big house not long ago. If the big house is full of good things, it is really impossible to take them all away in a short time. Everyone, there seems to be some big houses in this mansion, don't you want to take a look? Qin Yun suddenly said. Yes, let's hurry and take a look. Someone shouted and quickly walked out of the big house. Everyone did not want their things to be taken away and immediately went to other houses. Even the people of the Medicine Immortal Valley did not pursue the middle-aged man who was killed by Qin Yun at this time and hurriedly ran out of the big house. After going out, someone suddenly shouted, "Beast bones, I found beast bones, ha!" The houses in the mansion are all large stone houses, there are more than a dozen, like a large warehouse. After someone found the beast bones, everyone suddenly became fanatical and went to open the doors of those huge stone houses. Almost every stone house has a heavenly beast bone. Because of this, some fierce battles took place. Originally, after coming in, they could not fight with each other, but now who cares so much? The people who are fighting with each other are the disciples of the 5 great immortal sects and 5 great star sections. Qin Yun remained calm and collected. During the battle, he secretly used his powerful mental energy to collect quite a number of beast bones. He has been following Kumingjiang and also saw Kumingjiang from a stone house. Kumingjiang is very strong, and he led the disciples of Immortal Weapon City and got the most heavenly beast bones. At this time, Kumingjiang is in a large warehouse and got the heavenly beast crystal nucleus. This was also seen by the disciples of the Medicine Immortal Valley who just rushed in. Chapter 551. Heavenly Beast Bones. Qin Yun is a little worried about Xiao Yuelan and they hope that they can be safe. He only got about a few thousand genes of heavenly beast bones, and Kumingjiang got hundreds of thousands of genes. Who would have thought that the stone houses of this mansion would be filled with the skeletons of various heavenly beasts? Only Qin Yun knows that this is the Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion, built by the former Heavenly Lion Overlord. At the beginning, the Heavenly Lion must have killed a lot of heavenly beasts, so the bones were stored. Only in the middle of the big house, there are no heavenly beast bones. There are no heavenly beasts in the Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain. Maybe they have been killed by the Heavenly Lion. Ling Yuner said, only those vegetarian heavenly beasts can survive. The little deer that Qin Yun encountered before is a living heavenly beast. The disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley are very arrogant, even Kumingjiang of Immortal Weapon City wants to rob them. Your Medicine Immortal Valley must understand that if you rob us here, it means that your Medicine Immortal Valley declares war on our Immortal Weapon City. Does your Medicine Immortal Valley have the confidence to defeat our Immortal Weapon City? Kumingjiang is not afraid of the people of Medicine Immortal Valley. Another disciple of Immortal Weapon City also said coldly, Medicine Immortal Valley, you are too arrogant, you actually rob us. You rob the 5-star sects and 3 moon sects. We are not soft persimmons. Haha, your Medicine Immortal Valley should not have the least heavenly beast bones, right? Kumingjiang laughed. You are a group of idiots just thinking that there is something on the bearded man, wasting so much time and missing the opportunity to go out first. Now everyone is very sure that there is really nothing in that big house. Because if there is something, there must be the aura of heavenly beast bones. Your Immortal Weapon City has emptied 3 warehouses. You have the most heavenly beast bones, shouldn't you take out some and share them equally? The disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley said coldly. The main reason is that the people of Medicine Immortal Valley went to other warehouses are small, and they also had some disputes with the people of other sects and delayed a lot of time. The 3 squads of the Immortal Weapon City used the fastest time to empty the 3 warehouses. This is also because they have storage magic tools with large space. Qin Yun followed Kumingjiang and also got some things. He is also very satisfied. Get out of the way. If you want our heavenly beast bones, you'll have to step over our corpses. Kumingjiang coldly smiled and then walked to the warehouse door. In front of the gate, many disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley saw the murderous Kumingjiang and could only grit their teeth and make way. If they were to fight, they could win, but this matter would definitely be known by others. When it reaches the Immortal Weapon City, it will definitely be a war between the two immortal sections. If Medicine Immortal Valley does not want war, then they can only punish them for causing trouble. Now, Qin Yun also saw how advantageous the main sect disciples of the immortal sects were. The other immortal sects would not dare to act recklessly. Qin Yun followed Kumingjiang and came outside and saw Xiao Yuelon and the others. Yuelon, did you get the beast bone? I got some. If you don't have them, I can give them to you. Qin Yun said. Don't worry, we all have them. Xiao Yuelon said. You can go back with the people of Immortal Weapon City in peace. We will contact each other in the future. They are now hiding their identities and can only communicate in secret. It didn't take long for more than a dozen warehouses in this mansion to be emptied. Immortal Weapon City, you got the 3 largest warehouses of heavenly beast bones. Quickly take out some and share them equally. The person who spoke is the main sect disciple of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. The largest warehouse of heavenly beast bones is also the best. The heavenly beast bones you got are of higher quality than ours. Quickly take them out and share them equally. The disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley also shouted. Only Demon Immortal Cave and Sword Immortal Pavilion did not participate. These two immortal sects have a good relationship with Immortal Weapon City. Especially Sword Immortal Pavilion, the weapons are provided by Immortal Weapon City. Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain have always had contradictions with Immortal Weapon City, so at this time they are very impolite. Finally, many people came one after another. Lu Chongxing finally arrived. His status in Medicine Immortal Valley is extremely high. When he arrived, the people of Medicine Immortal Valley seemed to be very confident. Finally, several teams from the Immortal Weapon City arrived, including Jianmang. Jianmang, who was blind, sensed Qin Yun's aura as soon as he arrived. He was surprised but did not say anything. As a result, the disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain joined forces and asked Immortal Weapon City for heavenly beast bones. The other 8 star and moon sects are watching from the sidelines and entering the state of watching the show. By the way, the bearded man just killed one of our brothers. What do you say about this? A young man of Medicine Immortal Valley pointed at Qin Yun and said angrily. Qin Yun hurriedly recounted the events that transpired. That guy was killed by the enchantment. No one can be blamed. Kumingjiang smiled and said, We all have to thank this little brother because he can enter the mansion and remove the enchantment so that we can get so many heavenly beast bones. He is our #1 hero. The onlookers nodded one after another. Lu Chongxing did not recognize it. He came later and learned that Immortal Weapon City obtained 3 large warehouses of heavenly beast bones, and his teeth itched with jealousy. Kumingjiang, today, no matter what, you must hand over a part of the heavenly beast bones, otherwise this bearded man must die. Lu Chongxing took out a sword and pointed it at Qin Yun. He killed one of our brothers. You want to kill him, can you? Go kill him. But the premise is that you have to kill me first. As long as I, Kumingjiang, am still alive, you can't touch him. Kumingjiang looks like a powerful middle-aged man. When he released his Dao power, it is like the momentum of a rushing river. It is very scary. Kumingjiang's martial spirit is the Great River Martial Spirit. This is a legendary martial spirit. Let's take a step back. Lu Chongxing thought about it and said, How about fighting? If you win, we will not pursue the matter of the bearded man. If you lose, you have 2 choices. Either kill the bearded man or give us a warehouse of heavenly beast bones. Dream on. Kumingjiang smiled coldly. If you have guts, come and attack us. Our immortal weapon city has long wanted to find a justifiable opportunity to kill your medicine immortal valley. You have guts. Lu Chongxing gritted his teeth angrily and said, How about this, we bet on heavenly beast bones. One fight, 20,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. That's good. Kumingjiang smiled. Anyway, since I entered the heavenly beast desolate domain, I haven't had a good fight. Our spirit martial realm martial artists will not fight. Let the martial Dao realm juniors fight. Lu Chongxing looked at a senior brother and the senior brother also agreed. Kumingjiang said, Jian Meng, you fight. If you win, you will get 10,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. Jian Meng slowly walked out. His eyes are scarred, tightly squinted. He is wearing white clothes, tall and thin. He gave off a threatening aura from head to toe. This is the disciple of the Jian family. Many people can recognize him from this aura. Jian Meng, why don't you come to our Sword Immortal Pavilion? That is your best choice. A middle-aged man from the Sword Immortal Pavilion asked. I am not fated with the Sword Immortal Pavilion, I have always decided by fate. Jian Meng lightly said. I entered the Saber Sword Villa and then got the opportunity to become a temporary disciple from the Saber Sword Villa. This is my fate with the Immortal Weapon City. Kumingjiang smiled and said, Yes, there is an opportunity for you to get the heavenly beast bones. Once you defeat the opponent, you will be an outer sect disciple of the Immortal Weapon City. A blind man, what's so great about him? Lu Chongxing sneered. A Qing, go up and kill him. Kumingjiang took out a Xian sword and was about to hand it to Jian Meng. But he heard Lu Chongxing shout, No weapons! The rules of the fight are to beat the opponent until they have no power to fight back. Death and injury are allowed, no weapons, hidden weapons and poisons can be used. Everyone immediately gave way to a large area. There is no barrier martial field here. If they fight, the aftermath will also destroy the mansion. Everyone floated in the air and looked at the two people below. A Qing is an outer sect disciple of the Medicine Immortal Valley, 9th level martial Dao realm, tall and sturdy. His face is full of muscles. Under the developed muscles, there is hot lava squirming. This is a martial artist who cultivates the power of fire. Before it started, a Qing's whole body is steaming hot. A Qing has 6 spiritual veins, purple gold fire martial spirit, 25 this year, from the Xia family. Lu Chongxing proudly said, The disciples of the Jian family, without a sword, are trash. A Qing will win. Start! Lu Chongxing shouted. At the beginning, a heat wave surged in all directions. That is a Qing's aura. And Jian Meng's aura is even more terrifying, only to see his palm suddenly appear a virtual image of a sword. The moment a Qing punched, he saw the virtual image of this sword. He was shocked and strengthened his primordial Dao power. His fist overflowed with a fierce purple gold flame and hit the virtual sword. As soon as this flame came out, the strong heat made the surrounding 100 meters sultry. Jian Meng still steadily stabbed out with his sword and did not avoid a Qing's fist. The fist collided with the virtual sword and a purple gold flame spewed out. Ah! A Qing screamed. His fist was pierced by the virtual sword and came out from the back. Jian Meng's virtual sword is really as sharp as a sword. It penetrated a Qing's entire arm and broke the terrible primordial purple gold fire. The terrible thing is that the virtual sword suddenly exploded and a Qing's arm exploded. After a Qing's arm was gone, he screamed loudly. Subsequently, Jian Meng condensed a virtual image of a long sword and stabbed at a Qing. In an instant, he stabbed 10 times and the sword pierced into a Qing's vital parts. He has no power to fight back. After Jian Meng stabbed, he calmly retreated. The strength of this Jian Meng, even the martial artists of the spirit martial realm are frightened. We won. Kumingjiang looked at the people of Medicine, Immortal Valley and laughed. Lu Chongxing looked at the seriously injured Qing and said, "This guy is a sword cultivator." Chapter 552. Arm Wrestling. Jian Mang is a sword cultivator, which makes many people feel surprised. Everyone is very curious. This kind of sword cultivator should be able to enter the 5 major star sects. Why did he go to the Saber Sword Villa? Jian Mang went to the Saber Sword Villa just to get some sword technique. He seems to have gotten it now. Kumingjiang looked at Lu Chongxing's ugly face and said with a smile, "Lu Chongxing, do you want to act shamelessly? This is indeed Medicine, Immortal Valley lost, and everyone saw it." Lu Chongxing asked a middle-aged man to take out 20,000 genes of heavenly beast bones and handed them to Kumingjiang. Kumingjiang also gave 10,000 genes of heavenly beast bones to Jian Mang, but Jian Mang did not have a large enough storage magic tool, so he temporarily kept it with Kumingjiang. "Are you still willing to compete?" Lu Chongxing lost 20,000 genes of heavenly beast bones and he is very dissatisfied. This time, he must win back, otherwise his prestige in Medicine Immortal Valley will also be damaged. Kumingjiang is of course happy to compete. On the one hand, he has more heavenly beast bones and on the other hand, there are many excellent disciples in Immortal Weapon City. This kind of competition can also see the strength of Immortal Weapon City and Medicine Immortal Valley. Now it is not just to compete for heavenly beast bones. Also, in order to win face for their own immortal sect. Medicine Immortal Valley lost once before to Immortal Weapon City, they need to win back twice to offset the negative impact. The second competition began. It is still a martial arts competition. Kumingjiang let a thin young man go up. On the side of Medicine Immortal Valley, a slightly fat man was sent. After the start of the martial arts competition, the two sides immediately entered into a fierce battle. The two men fought evenly. It didn't take long for the winner to be decided. Immortal Weapon City lost. This made Lu Chongxing's mood a lot better. Kumingjiang did not blame the thin young man who lost, but very politely helped to deal with the injury. And Lu Chongxing, always had a high and mighty appearance, won the heavenly beast bones and did not share. In contrast, Kumingjiang gave a better impression. "Let's continue. When everyone else is tired, I will compete with you again and play a big game." Lu Chongxing sneered. "Okay, let's compete at the end." Kumingjiang is also looking forward to it. Lu Chongxing looked at a long-faced youth and said, "Yang Xianya, you go up? You are a disciple of the Yang family, don't lose face for the Yang family, and even more so for our Medicine Immortal Valley. You must win." When Kumingjiang saw the Yang family disciple sent by the other party, he immediately frowned. He looked at Jian Mang and asked, "Are you going?" "No, he is from the Yang family, I am afraid of killing him by mistake," Jian Mang said. This made Yang Xianya furious. Jian Mang's words seemed to be telling everyone that he could casually kill the Yang clan's disciples, but he was afraid of offending the Yang clan. The disciples of the Jian family did not like to make enemies. This was a well-known fact. "Bearded man, what is your name?" Kumingjiang looked at Qin Yun and asked. "Yun Darren." Qin Yun said, "Great benevolence and great righteousness." "So Yun Darren, are you willing to fight with this Yang family?" Kumingjiang felt that the name was more deceptive and secretly despised it. Hearing this name, Xiao Yuelan and Feng Honglan almost laughed out loud. They also thought of that wretched Murong Darren. "I am willing." Qin Yun nodded. Qin Yun likes to deal with the people of the Yang family. He quickly walked up. During the competition, weapons and armor cannot be used. The people on both sides will also use a special mirror to illuminate, which can see whether the other side has armor. Yang Xianya looked at Qin Yun and his heart was a little nervous because he had seen Qin Yun's skills before. He also slapped a middle-aged martial artist twice, and his speed of evasion was extremely fast. If you are sensible, you should be like Jianmeng. Don't provoke our Yang family. Yang Xianya said with a proud face. If you hurt me, our Yang family will never let you go. You are just a temporary disciple. If you lose to me, you don't have to pay for the lost heavenly beast bones, so you have to be smart. This made everyone feel a little funny. This Yang Xianyao actually threatened others. If I offend your Yang family, what about it? Qin Yun asked. He did not mean to retreat. Even if you become a disciple of Immortal Weapon City, as long as you are alone outside and found by us, the consequences will be very miserable. Yang Xianya sneered. Very miserable? How miserable is it? Qin Yun asked. That is. Yang Xianya suddenly became furious. Are you playing with me? You idiot, you have to think clearly. Don't let yourself be chased by us for the rest of your life for the sake of a heavenly beast bone. I heard that your Yang family's patriarch has a bounty on his head. I don't know if his head is still there? Qin Yun said. Your Yang family's patriarch's head can't be kept. Why is the Yang family still chasing me? Shouldn't you protect your patriarch? Many people laughed out loud. The situation of the Yang family and the Long family is really funny. The patriarch could only live like a cowardly tortoise. Bastard, are you mocking our Yang family? Yang Xianya is infuriated and punched at Qin Yun. After Qin Yun dodged, he said, You think so? Your Yang family has been ridiculed because of this matter and you deserve it. Yang Xianya said and punched Qin Yun again. But Qin Yun just dodged. Bastard, haha, you only dare to dodge, you don't dare to hit me. Because you are afraid of offending our Yang family. Yang Xianya laughed proudly and then kept attacking. Qin Yun did not attack because he did not want to expose his aura. At the beginning, he desperately slapped Lu Chongxing, and at that time, he released a very strong aura. With Lu Chongxing's memory, he can definitely remember it. Why don't I dare to hit you? I just haven't found your flaws for the time being. Qin Yun is also serious. He now only intends to use the power of his heavenly lion Xian body to defeat the other party. Suddenly, Yang Xianya stopped fighting. He stood in the same place, raised his head and shouted, If you are really not afraid of our Yang family's revenge, come and try to hit me. Everyone also saw that Qin Yun's movement technique is very clever and not so easy to deal with. Therefore, Yang Xianya used the entire Yang family to suppress others, which is also despised. Yang Xianya is an outer sect disciple of our medicine Immortal Valley. You are a temporary disciple. If you hurt him, you will offend the Yang family and medicine Immortal Valley. Lu Chongxing also smiled coldly. Yang Xianya laughed and said, He is just a temporary disciple. If he causes a big trouble, Immortal Weapon City will kick him away and let him bear it himself. This idiot, does he really think that Immortal Weapon City will want him? Qin Yun quickly walked over and punched Yang Xianya's nose. His fist is like a stiff hammer with the power of Heavenly Lion Xian body. It is comparable to the power of 9th level Martial Dao realm. Gotcha! Everyone saw that Yang Xianya's nose was flattened and his face was full of blood. What if I hit you? Qin Yun said and punched Yang Xianya's abdomen again. The powerful impact produced a burst of energy that cracked the Dao core inside. Idiot, this is a fight to decide the winner and loser. How can you stand there and let me hit you? Qin Yun spoke and punched Yang Xianya's face again. Ah! Yang Xianya rolled on the ground and screamed in pain. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. Kumingjiang laughed and said, This guy is stupid, naive to think that others do not dare to hit him. Lu Chongxing's face is very ugly. He did not expect a nameless pawn to really dare to offend the Long family and medicine Immortal Valley. We won. Next time you send someone with a brain, there is nothing to see. Kumingjiang looked at Lu Chongxing with a sneer on his face and sneered. Lu Chongxing's face is cold. He gave the 20,000 genes of heavenly beast bones to Kumingjiang. Qin Yun also got 10,000 genes, in order not to expose that he has a storage spirit tool. He also stored it with Kumingjiang. This time, let's let the spirit martial realm fight. 50,000 genes, how about it? Lu Chongqing suddenly said. Yes. Kumingjiang smiled and said, Are you going to play? Lu Chongqing looked at a tall and strong young man with a scar on his face and said, Alu, you go. After Alu went to the open place, he tore the white clothes on his body and saw that half of his body was tattooed with many patterns. Taking a closer look, it is a tiger totem. Totem martial master. This made the onlookers exclaim. Lu is not only a totem martial master, he also has a tiger bloodline inheritance. Lu Chongqing proudly smiled. He is my good brother. Immortal Weapon City, who will you send to fight? Kumingjiang suddenly frowned, his face also became serious, looking at the disciples on their side. Qin Yun said, Captain Ku, it is better not to compete in martial arts, how about arm wrestling? I am born with great strength, I will go in arm wrestling with him. Yun Darren, this is a bet of 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, can you really do it? Kumingjiang is very worried, after all, Qin Yun is only 9th level martial Dao realm. If it is just arm wrestling, then how to say it is also a spirit martial realm martial master? Lu Chongqing smiled and said, This is a good idea. It is too easy to get injured in martial arts, let's use a more gentle way to compete in strength. Kumingjiang did not let Qin Yun go, but called a middle-aged spirit martial realm. Kumingjiang took out a large head of a heavenly beast and used it as a table, and then the two put their hands on the table. Start! Kumingjiang shouted. Everyone also found it very interesting, they all wanted to see in this way of competition, whose explosive power and endurance is stronger. It lasted for a long time, when both sides released their power madly, their bodies also gushed out a wave of air from time to time, setting off a burst of wind and wave. Alu, just a little bit more and you would have won. Lu Chongqing is also a little excited and shouted. The totem runes on Ali's body fiercely lit up, issued a tiger roar and pressed down the hand of the middle-aged man from Immortal Weapon City. 1. Lu Chongqing proudly laughed. Kumingjiang was a little upset and gave 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones to Lu Chongqing. He also saw that Ali's power is really terrible, even he may not win so easily. Again. Lu Chongqing is also addicted to gambling, because he has now earned 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones in one go. Captain, this requires some skills, I know better in this area. Qin Yun also said apologetically. I will definitely win him. If I win, I don't want half of the 50,000 heavenly beast bones, it will be considered as the loss just now. Well, Yun Darren, I will believe you this time. Kumingjiang also felt that the bearded man in front of him is a bit strange and agreed. Chapter 553. The greatest strength. Kumingjiang believes that Qin Yun has a certain strength, because only he could enter the mansion before, and he also slapped the martial artist of medicine Immortal Valley twice. When the main sect disciple of medicine Immortal Valley fought back, he was always unable to hit. Therefore, Kumingjiang feels that this bearded man named Yun Darren must be hiding a strong strength. Qin Yun walked over and looked at Alu and asked, Do you want to take a break? You just used a lot of strength. No, for trash like you, I can easily beat you with 20% of my power. Let's start now. Alu said and then stretched out his hand. After Qin Yun stood firm, he also put his hand on the large heavenly beast skull. The heavenly beast skull is a huge top of the beast head and it is very strong. They used this beast head as a table for arm wrestling. After the start, both of them began to exert their strength. After Alu slightly exerted his strength, he found that it was not so easy to press down Qin Yun's hand and then increased it. Lu Chongqing looked at Kumingjiang and found it very interesting. He smiled and said, Kumingjiang, you really have a lot of heavenly beast bones. You actually dare to make trouble like this and let a martial Dao level temporary disciple come out to compete. You will lose this competition. After all, the strength is there. The martial Dao level 9th level is definitely a lot worse than the martial artist of the early stage spirit martial realm. Lu Chongqing, who was originally smiling, saw that Alu did not press down Qin Yun, frowned slightly and shouted, Alu, what are you doing? Hurry up and press him down. Qin Yun and Ali's hands have been there to maintain the starting state. No one can press down the other. After Alu felt a certain amount of pressure, he roared, the tiger totem on his body roared and overflowed with the real violent tiger Dao power. Hu! A gust of wind, along with the roar of Alu, rushed out in all directions. The reason why Qin Yun proposed the idea of arm wrestling is that he did not want to expose his aura during the battle. If it is just arm wrestling, he is confident that with the power of Heavenly Lion Xian body, he can also suppress the martial artist of the early stage spirit martial realm. After Lu roared loudly, his strength really increased a lot. He was able to turn Qin Yun's hand a little bit, but only a little bit. Brother, is this 20% of your power? You are truly awesome. Qin Yun's expression is like a smile yet not a smile, it is filled with ridicule. How could this be 20% of Ali's power? Everyone could see that he had used all his strength. However, it was unable to overwhelm Qin Yun. Arm wrestling was different from a martial arts competition. During a martial arts competition, martial techniques were used to make one's strength stronger and more violent. As for arm wrestling, one could only rely on one's pure strength. Qin Yun has 3 Dao cores and Heavenly Lion Xian body. In addition, he is using 9 extinction Dao power. That power is extremely terrifying. Facing a martial master who had just entered the spirit martial realm, it was a piece of cake. Hee, I'm waiting for you to use your full strength. Qin Yun looked relaxed. Originally, he was worried that Lu Chongqing would recognize him. However, Lu Chongqing did not seem to recognize Qin Yun. Maybe he has not seen Qin Yun for a long time. Furthermore, he did not believe that Qin Yun would appear here. Although, what are you doing? You can easily push him over. Lu Chongqing is anxious. If Alu loses, he will have to return the 50,000 pounds of heavenly beast bones. The people who did not think highly of Qin Yun were now astonished. They really did not expect that a temporary 9th level martial Dao realm disciple could actually suppress the main sect disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley. Xiao Yuelan and the others are also watching. Only they know the strength of Qin Yun, so they are not worried at all. Alu, you are going to lose, Qin Yun said, suddenly increased his strength and pressed Ali's wrist a little bit. Ali's face is red, he gritted his teeth, blue veins appeared on his forehead, his eyes widened and he is unwilling to look at his wrist that was pressed a little bit. He really did not expect that this temporary 9th level martial Dao realm disciple would be so powerful. The most terrifying thing is that Qin Yun still has a smile on his face. Finally, the back of Ali's hand touched the table. I won. Qin Yun laughed. Yun Darren, awesome. Kumingjiang loudly praised and then laughed heartily. Lu Chongqing's face was gloomy and he handed the 50,000 pounds of heavenly beast bones to Kumingjiang. Kumingjiang saw Lu Chongqing's ugly face and laughed even more happily. Do you still dare to come? Kumingjiang laughed. Why wouldn't I dare? Old and you go and teach the bearded man a lesson. Lu Chongqing originally wanted to do it himself, but he felt that his status was relatively high and he would fight against Kumingjiang. Old and is a middle-aged man, very strong. His arm is longer than many people's thighs. His outstretched palm is much bigger than Qin Yun's. Everyone looked at his bare, thick arms, and they were all secretly shocked. Qin Yun's arm also has strong muscles, the kind of uniform and healthy, it looks very pleasing to the eye. Old Eye is different. His arm is 2 or 3 times bigger than Qin Yun's. His muscles were like lumps of rock, looking extremely malevolent and frightening. Qin Yun saw this Old Eye and he felt great pressure. Your medicine, Immortal Valley, when did you accept devil cultivators? I really didn't expect it. Kumingjiang is also a little worried about Qin Yun at this time. Everyone knows that the power of devil cultivator is the most terrible. This Old Knee's monster-like body is cultivated in a very extreme way. You don't have to worry about this. When Lu Chongqing saw Old Knee's behemoth-like arm, he was very relieved and shouted, "Start!" Qin Yun's wrist compared with Old Knee's is like comparing a branch to a tree trunk. From the visual point of view, there is a strong impact. There is a big disparity in the size of the wrists of the two people. What's more, Old Eye is a spirit martial realm martial master. This time, everyone thinks that Qin Yun can't win. At the beginning, Old Knee's body exuded a strong devil aura and his muscles swelled up. Under the muscles, a very terrible huge black tendon burst out. Inside those black tendons, there is a powerful evil power. At this time, Old Eye is more like a monster. Qin Yun is also relatively tall and strong, but in front of Old Eye, it is like a child facing a furry giant bear. Get down! Old Eye roared and wanted to break Qin Yun's wrist. That fierce demonic aura also caused everyone to secretly frown. What was most alarming was that Qin Yun did not lose too much of his strength. Big guy, don't think that big is strong. Qin Yun's forehead oozed a little sweat and then he broke back a little bit. After breaking back, he even pressed down the thick and incomparably strong arm a little bit. When Lu Chongqing saw this scene, he looked like he had seen a ghost. Old Knee's palm is relatively thick, so the back of his hand quickly touched the beast bone table. I won. Qin Yun smiled slightly. Old Eye saw that he lost and roared angrily. You little grasshopper, what kind of method did you use? I am not convinced. Kumingjiang quickly shouted. Get down! A wave of air rushed over and shook the huge Old Eye back more than 10 steps. After losing another 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, Lu Chongqing's face turned green. Now, everyone looked at Qin Yun as if they were looking at the monster Old Eye. Because this nobody, Yun Darren, was the real monster. This time I will come. Lu Chongqing came over and looked at Qin Yun with killing intent in his eyes. Young Master Lu, those heavenly beast bones don't seem to be obtained by you. You have lost a lot. Kumingjiang laughed. You have to leave some for your fellow disciples. Other disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley, although dissatisfied in their hearts, will certainly not show it. They don't want to offend Lu Chongqing. Junior brother Lu, you can rest assured to compete. We believe that you will be able to turn the tables. A middle-aged disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley, his voice is full of encouragement. Of course, he is not willing at all. If he does not express his position, Lu Chongqing may also hate him. Qin Yun did not expect that Lu Chongqing actually has such a high status in Medicine Immortal Valley. This must also be related to Lu Chongqing's background. Lu Chongqing's own qualifications and talent are not bad, so in Medicine Immortal Valley, he is regarded as a very good disciple and received key training. Everyone can see that Lu Chongqing is the strongest disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley. He personally came out to recover a little loss. Otherwise, if he continues to lose, not only will the number of heavenly beast bones be reduced a lot, morale will also decline. Lu Chongqing is very confident, after all. He is the youngest main sect disciple of Medicine Immortal Valley. His martial arts talent is also extremely high, which is the capital he has arrogance. He looked at Qin Yun and sneered. You are called Yun Darren, right? When we arm wrestle, how about we add a game? Tell me what kind of game it is. If it's not fun, I won't play. Qin Yun laughed. That is, we arm wrestle while slapping each other's face. You slap me, you slap me. Lu Chongqing smiled and said, How about it? Isn't it very interesting? It's quite interesting, but who will fight first? Qin Yun asked. Let's play rock paper scissors, the winner will fight first. Lu Chongqing took out his hand and prepared to play rock paper scissors. Qin Yun thought about it and also agreed. The two of them played rock paper scissors like children. The result came out quickly. Qin Yun used scissors and Lu Chongqing used hammer. Qin Yun lost the rock paper scissors game. Lu Chongqing played first. Lu Chongqing said with a very happy smile, Okay, let's start now. First arm wrestle, then I count to 10 and then start hitting you. For this kind of game, everyone is also very happy to see. Lu Chongqing proposed this kind of game, obviously very confident that he will not be hit. Yu Wulan, Tian Ruling and Feng Honglan are also secretly worried about Qin Yun. On the other hand, Xiao Yuelan is not worried at all. She is Qin Yun's wife and knows Qin Yun's strength best. Kumingjiang also felt that Qin Yun was a bit reckless and should not have won so easily. Soon, arm wrestling began. The strength of the two people is equal, no one can break the other, they are firmly maintained there. Chapter 554. Losing all face. Qin Yun quickly condensed the power of Nether Sun on his face. Even if he exposed his aura, he must not be slapped by Lu Chongqing, this is too shameful. 7, 8, 9, 10. Lu Chongqing was a little excited and laughed. Look at my palm. Boom. Lu Chongqing used his other hand to slap Qin Yun's cheek. A large flame emerged and Lu Chongqing's flaming palm suddenly stopped a few inches away from Qin Yun's cheek. I will count to 10, if you can't hit me, this palm will be invalid and then I will hit you. After Qin Yun finished, he began to count. 1, 2, 3. Lu Chongqing gritted his teeth. He could not beat Qin Yun in arm wrestling. When he was about to hit Qin Yun, he was blocked by a force, which made him feel extremely aggrieved in his heart. 8, 9, 10. I finished counting, it's my turn to hit you. Qin Yun smiled slightly. Everyone couldn't help but marvel at Qin Yun's terrible strength. Not only is his strength very great, he can even block Lu Chongqing's slap. Everyone looked at Qin Yun and Lu Chongqing without blinking. They all wanted to see if Qin Yun could successfully slap Lu Chongqing. This kind of competition looks like a child's play, but it is a test of one's own strength. When arm wrestling, one cannot spare too much power to break the opponent's defense, otherwise one will be suppressed. And when defending, one cannot use too much power to resist. If the power is not enough, one will lose. This is extremely demanding on the use of power and the distribution of Dao power. Everyone thought about it carefully. If they were to play this kind of game, they might not be able to hold on for long. Therefore, when Qin Yun blocked Lu Chongqing's slap, everyone was shocked. I will count to 10, I will start to hit you, you are ready. Qin Yun began to count. After counting to 10, he released a vibration power and hit Lu Chongqing's face. Lu Chongqing also quickly used a powerful Dao power to protect his cheek. When Qin Yun's palm hit, it also released a vibration power and scattered Lu Chongqing's power. His palm, like thunder, fell on Lu Chongqing's cheek. Boom! The sound of this slap was not crisp at all. It produced a dull and loud sound. It was clear that this slap was very powerful. On Lu Chongqing's fair and handsome face, 5 black fingerprints suddenly appeared. His face was black and bruised badly. Everyone was so shocked that their jaws dropped. They felt an inexplicable sense of satisfaction in their hearts. Lu Chongqing is the top genius of medicine, Immortal Valley. He is aloof and arrogant and usually looks down on everyone, arrogant. But now, he had been slapped in the face by a nobody. What Lu Chongqing doesn't know is that the person who beat him is Qin Yun. This is the second time Qin Yun slapped Lu Chongqing's face. However, Lu Chongqing himself did not know. If he knew, he would definitely vomit blood. You have guts. Lu Chong was so angry that his whole body was trembling, but he did not dare to relax, because if he lost in arm wrestling, he would lose 50,000 gene of heavenly beast bones. He is the strongest in the Medicine Immortal Valley team. If he loses, they have no hope of winning back those who lost. Lu Chongqing was beaten, but he can't say anything because this is the game he proposed and he is the one who asked for it. It's my turn to hit you, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. After Lu Chongqing finished, his palm quickly slapped Qin Yun's cheek. This palm was still a few inches away from Qin Yun's cheek when it was intercepted by a force. Qin Yun also began to count. After 10 counts, Lu Chongqing still could not break his defense. Hee, it's my turn to hit you. Qin Yun smiled proudly and then quickly counted. He counted very quickly and after counting, he slapped Lu Chongqing. Lu Chongqing just let the swelling and pain on his face disappear, and he was slapped again. The terrible thing is that the power of this slap is even greater. Lu Chongqing's mouth was crooked. Lu Chongqing slanted his mouth, squinted his eyes and looked at Qin Yun with anger in his eyes. Now he is still arm wrestling and he can't do anything. Xiao Yuelon and the other girls covered their mouths and snickered. Many people couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha! Lu Chongqing, you admit defeat. If this goes on, you will be beaten to the point that even your mother can't recognize you. Kumingjiang is not afraid of Lu Chongqing and laughed loudly. Shut up! Lu Chongqing roared. He was slapped twice, and he can't let it go so easily. Qin Yun's heavenly lion Xian body fused with vibration Dao core and thunder and fire Dao core. The power that erupted in an instant is very overbearing, and even the spirit martial realm would find it difficult to resist. Lu Chongqing quickly counted, and he also counted faster. After counting, he immediately went to hit Qin Yun. The third time, he still did not hit Qin Yun. Now, he thoroughly felt the power of the 9th level martial Dao realm in front of him, how deep and bottomless it is. It is also because of this condition that Lu Chongqing's power is also greatly limited and he can't exert his full strength. In fact, this is also a matter of level. Qin Yun can exert his own strength as he wishes. It's my turn. It is Qin Yun's turn again. Lu Chongqing knows very well that he is about to be slapped. So he wants to quickly admit defeat and deliberately weaken the strength of his wrist to let Qin Yun win. Qin Yun also felt the strength of Lu Chongqing's wrist weakening and he quickly retracted his strength and did not press Lu Chongqing's wrist down. In this way, he can still slap Lu Chongqing. Boom! Qin Yun's third slap came down. This time, Lu Chongqing was not only beaten crooked, half of his face was swollen with his eyes and his eyes were so dazed that he could not open them. You deliberately did not win me, just to hit me. Lu Chongqing suddenly flew into a rage and took his hand back. He doesn't want to play anymore. If he continues to play, he will really be beaten badly. Everyone really admired this Yundaran. He actually dared to tease Lu Chongqing like this. Lu Chongqing, you suddenly quit. This is admitting defeat. Take out 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. Kumingjiang laughed and admired Qin Yun even more in his heart. He actually let Lu Chongqing eat such a big loss. Lu Chongqing was slapped 3 times in front of so many people. This will definitely be very shameful. Why, you don't want to give it? Kumingjiang's face sank and said coldly. If I don't give it to you, what can you do? Lu Chongqing covered his face and glared at Qin Yun and Kumingjiang. If you don't give it, don't blame us for being impolite. Kumingjiang took out his weapon and his well-defined face is full of killing intent. Seeing that Kumingjiang is serious, everyone also retreated. This kind of battle between the experts of the early stage spirit martial realm is definitely not small. Immortal Weapon City is in the right, so the disciples are all full of confidence and are ready to fight. On the side of Medicine Immortal Valley, several disciples were injured. The overall number is not as good as that of Immortal Weapon City. Especially the 9th-level Martial Dao Realm Disciples, they are even worse than Immortal Weapon City. Immortal Weapon City's Jianmeng is very terrible. If they fight, Medicine Immortal Valley will definitely suffer a big loss. If they go out and investigate, it is also Immortal Weapon City who is in the right. Lu Chongqing suffered such a big loss and was slapped a few times. He is simply going to explode. Fortunately, he can also see the situation clearly, knowing that they can't beat Immortal Weapon City, so he can only hand over 50,000 genes of Heavenly Beast Bones. As a result, Medicine Immortal Valley lost a lot of Heavenly Beast Bones, and there are not many left. Junior brother Lu, we don't have many Heavenly Beast Bones. A middle-aged man whispered. Let's go. Lu Chongqing glared at Qin Yun and Kumingjiang. Then, with a group of Medicine Immortal Valley disciples, he hurriedly left this place. Kumingjiang looked at the disciples of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain and smiled. Friends of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, you seem to be unwilling to accept us. Do you want to play with us? The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain have just witnessed the whole process of Medicine Immortal Valley suffering a big loss. They are sick in the head to play with Immortal Weapon City. Everyone got some Heavenly Beast Bones. You can go back and report. Kumingjiang shouted to the onlookers of the sect disciples. When you go back, don't say that we bullied Medicine Immortal Valley. We are very fair with them. Everyone has also dispersed, keeping the bearded man Yun Darren in mind, because this person is too evil. Junior brother Yun, you have a total of 60,000 genes of Heavenly Beast Bones here. Kumingjiang said. After going back, Immortal Weapon City will give you a certain reward according to the weight of these Heavenly Beast Bones. Captain Ku, what is the use of these Heavenly Beast Bones? Qin Yun only thought of refining. It should be a good material for refining. Maybe it can also be ground into powder for alchemy? I don't know. In short, it can refine good Xian tools and Dao tools, this is for sure, Kumingjiang said. Qin Yun is now following Kumingjiang. When they go out together, he doesn't want to use that kind of space distortion method to go out, there is a certain risk. Lu Chongqing suffered a big loss and this matter quickly spread to many teams. The captains have a sound transmission conch to communicate with each other. After this matter spread out, it also made Lu Chongqing lose a lot of face. The team that entered the Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion, after obtaining the Heavenly Beast Bones, also quickly went out to report. This is also their main task, especially those temporary disciples. This is also an important opportunity for them to become outer sect disciples. Kumingjiang did not go back and continued to wander around in the Heavenly Beast desolate domain with the team. Are the powerful Heavenly Beasts here all dead? Kumingjiang led the team to search for a few days and then rested next to a big river. This team has more than 20 people. Jian Meng is also here. He did not make a sound along the way. Qin Yun also knew that he was recognized by Jian Meng, but he did not say anything. There are still Heavenly Beasts in the Heavenly Beast desolate domain. Maybe they are all hiding. Qin Yun said, Captain, did the elders tell you how big this Heavenly Beast desolate domain is? I don't know. In short, it is not too big. We can fly to the edge in 2 or 3 days. Kumingjiang frowned. There should be powerful Heavenly Beasts here. Why not? Qin Yun knows the reason, because they were all killed by Heavenly Lions. Even if there are Heavenly Beasts, they are the kind of Heavenly Beasts that eat grass and leaves. They are small and well hidden. Roar! Chapter 555. Heavenly Fire Python. Did the Heavenly Beast appear? Kumingjiang suddenly became excited. That kind of beast roar, Qin Yun also felt quite strange. Yun-er, what kind of beast roar is that? Qin Yun quickly asked Ling Yun-er, this little demon. Ling Yun-er is flapping her wings and flying around in the sea of flowers in Qin Yun's illusory space. After hearing Qin Yun's question, she frowned and said, It seems to be Qilin? I'm not sure. Kumingjiang also quickly took the team and rushed in the direction of the beast roar. Qin Yun heard that it is Qilin beast and secretly worried. It is also a very strong heavenly beast. Kumingjiang rushed over excitedly. He has many heavenly beast bones, but he wants to compete with the living heavenly beast. Qin Yun can only follow. Not only Kumingjiang led the team, many sect captains led their teams and rushed in the direction of the beast roar. Everyone wants to kill a powerful heavenly beast. The direction of the beast roar is far away from everyone. Everyone rushed through the night, and at dawn, they came to a place where the aura of the heavenly beast is very strong. This place is also a mess. There were many trees that were flattened by the scorching power. Keep chasing. Kumingjiang was the first to arrive. After he sensed the aura, he quickly chased after it. Qin Yun is very vigilant behind Kumingjiang. Kumingjiang doesn't seem to be afraid of the powerful heavenly beast at all. Especially after sensing the aura of the heavenly beast, he became even more excited. Does Captain Ke have a Dao tool in his hand? Qin Yun secretly guessed. On the way to chase the heavenly beast, Qin Yun sent a voice transmission to Jian Mang. Brother Jian Mang, you have to look after me later, the heavenly beast may be very strong. Qin Yun, I really don't know how you got in. Jian Mang heard Qin Yun's voice transmission and responded. I will always have a way. Qin Yun said with a smile. After we enter the immortal weapon city, we will be brothers and we can take care of each other. Your strength is not weaker than me. You don't need me to take care of you. Jian Mang said. I am also afraid of what if you use a sword. Your reaction will definitely be faster. Qin Yun smiled. After chasing for a while, they saw a sea of fire in front of them. It's a fire attribute heavenly beast, great. Kumingjiang was very excited and quickly rushed in. Then, several spirit martial realm martial artists followed Kumingjiang and rushed into the sea of fire. We will also go in and protect Kumingjiang. If he dies, the heavenly beast bones we stored in him will also be gone. Jian Mang said to Qin Yun. Qin Yun nodded before entering the sea of fire. After entering, they saw a flaming python with a body several meters wide. This huge fire python's scales were fiery red. It constantly emitted flames and swept through the trees in the forest. It's a sky fire python. Great. It should not be an adult yet. The flame is not a powerful heavenly fire. Kumingjiang seems to know a lot and shouted, Everyone be careful of those flames. Captain, sky fire pythons don't roar like that, do they? Qin Yun asked. Ling Yun told Qin Yun that the roar might have come from Qilin. Qin Yun and Jian Mang floated in the air, following the huge body of the heavenly fire python, and flying forward. They are going to see the head area of the heavenly fire python, where there must be a powerful beast fighting fiercely with the heavenly fire python. After they went over, they saw a Qilin beast with purple gold scales rushing towards the heavenly fire python. As Ling Yun said, it is really a Qilin beast. The body of the heavenly fire python suddenly moved flexibly, releasing a burst of flames and wrapping around the purple gold Qilin. Kumingjiang also floated in the air and looked at this scene in shock. The heavenly fire python is going to take down the purple gold Qilin. Kumingjiang said, suddenly took out a broadsword, swooped down and stabbed the eyes of the heavenly fire python. The heavenly fire python suddenly became furious and its throat made a gurgling sound. Because Kumingjiang is too small and very flexible, it is difficult for the heavenly fire python to attack. It can only constantly release a terrible flame. The purple gold Qilin also seized the opportunity and spat out a purple gold bead from its mouth and hit the mouth of the heavenly fire python. Boom! After a loud explosion, the mouth of the heavenly fire python was blown up and a lot of fiery red blood spilled out like lava. When the purple gold Qilin saw that someone came, it was also frightened and quickly flew away. Kumingjiang saw that the heavenly fire python was not lightly injured. He took out a large ring, and put it on the head of the heavenly fire python, and tied up the exploded mouth. This is a beast ring and the grade is extremely high. Is it a Dao tool? Qin Yun was shocked. Sure enough, after Kumingjiang succeeded, he took out a small golden pagoda. He made the small pagoda bigger. After the small pagoda became bigger, it produced a suction force and the huge heavenly fire python was taken in. He has all kinds of tools to subdue the heavenly beasts and they are all Dao tools. Qin Yun was even more surprised and he could guess that Kumingjiang must have a very strong background in Immortal Weapon City. There is also a Qilin beast, that is the most powerful heavenly beast, we must get it. Kumingjiang quickly chased up. Qin Yun was surprised in his heart and quickly flew forward with Jianmeng. It didn't take long for it to get dark and the aura of the purple gold Qilin is getting weaker and weaker. Let's search separately. If we are separated, wait for me at the entrance and exit. Kumingjiang's voice was dignified and said, once you find the purple gold Qilin, just make a big movement, try to delay time and wait for me to arrive. Also, you must remember to beware of the disciples of other sects. After Kumingjiang finished, he rushed in one direction. More than 20 disciples also formed several small teams, 3 or 2 people in a group, separated for Qin Yun to look for the purple gold Qilin. Qin Yun and Jianmeng are together and they are the last to act. The purple gold Qilin is very strong and very smart. Jianmeng said, I think if we encounter that thing we are definitely not its opponent. Well, Kumingjiang is different. He has a very strong beast-catching Dao tool. Qin Yun nodded, he also felt the same way. You don't know, Kumingjiang's father is a martial king of Immortal Weapon Palace and his grandfather is a very powerful elder. Jianmeng said, Brother Blind, it is better to do this, let's just look around. Qin Yun said, exactly what I want. Jianmeng nodded and smiled. After that, the two of them casually ran around in this jungle. All the way until daybreak, there was still no movement. Qin Yun and Jianmeng did not plan to look for the purple gold Qilin. They also know that the strength of the purple gold Qilin is very strong. That is a Xian beast level, much stronger than a spirit martial realm martial master. Only a complete set of beast-catching Xian tool or Dao tool can capture the purple gold Qilin. Although Qin Yun and Jianmeng are very strong, it is still very dangerous to face the purple gold Qilin. They feel that there is no need to take this kind of risk. If they are not careful, they will even lose their life. If they really face the purple gold Qilin, after being injured and then encounter the disciples of other sects, it will be dangerous. In this kind of environment, it is also very necessary to be wary of humans. Although Qin Yun and Jianmeng are not familiar with each other, they are the kind of people who can trust each other and have their own principles of doing things. Not long after dawn, a few beast roars suddenly broke the silence of the morning. Did Captain Ke find it? Qin Yun frowned and said, should we go and see? Let's go and see. If the captain is really in trouble, we still have to take action, our heavenly beast bones are all with him. As Jianmeng spoke, he hurriedly flew in the direction of the sound. Qin Yun also has tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones, which are reserved for his own refining and alchemy. If possible, he also wants to take the tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones from Kumingjiang, but this is impossible, he must be forced to hand it over to the sect. Then the beast roars came out and many teams in the vicinity also rushed over. After approaching, there was a heat wave. That is the purple gold Qilin. The purple gold flame released is also very overbearing. After Qin Yun and Jianmeng passed through the flame, they came to a place that was burned and empty. Kumingjiang is also here and he is injured. What surprised Qin Yun is that there is a huge damaged beast ring on the ground. The beast ring is specially used to catch powerful beasts and is also specially refined, very strong and difficult to destroy. And now, the beast ring has been destroyed. Captain Ku, come back! Jian Mang suddenly shouted, called out his origin sword and flew over. At the same time, a spear flew from a distance and stabbed at Kumingjiang. Jian Mang's sword cut the spear. Boom! The spear exploded and the power of inscription gushed out. The pale golden inscription is like a net, covering Kumingjiang and Jian Mang. It's a talisman tool. Qin Yun shouted and hurriedly released a few throwing knives, letting the throwing knives fly over and cut the inscription net into pieces. Otherwise, Kumingjiang and Jian Mang's body will be branded with some special inscription. Kumingjiang angrily shouted, "Which grandson attacked me? Don't let me find out, let's retreat." With that, Jian Mang also flew away with him. "You go first, I want to see who is sneaking up on us." Qin Yun sent a sound transmission to Jian Mang and Jian Mang. Jian Mang can only take Kumingjiang away first. Qin Yun used the transparent pearl to hide himself and floated in the air, looking at the sea of fire below. Not long after, a group of people appeared. It turned out to be the disciples of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. Qin Yun knows this group of disciples. When he was at the gate of the mansion, he was embarrassed by this group of people. This team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain should be like Captain Ku, specialized in killing powerful heavenly beasts? He can't help but remember that Kumingjiang's beast-catching Dao tool is specially refined. The captain of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, the same strength as Kumingjiang and Lu Chongxing, is a very strong early-stage spirit martial realm martial master. After he came over, he saw the fragments on the ground and said coldly, "Let Kumingjiang run away." Chapter 556. Trading with Heavenly Beast. This elite team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, everyone is in the early stage spirit martial realm. Jian Mang obviously sensed this aura and left in a hurry. "It's Jian Mang. The people of Jian family are all incredible." A middle-aged man coldly snorted. "Sooner or later we will destroy them. Not only Jian Mang, but also that Yun Darren." Another young man said, "Just now in the air, I only saw Jian Mang and Kumingjiang leave, that Yun Darren is still here. No matter, let's catch up with the purple gold Qilin first. Kumingjiang got a heavenly fire python, we can't fall behind." The middle-aged captain said, "If there is a chance, we must capture Kumingjiang and that Yun Darren. Kumingjiang has a lot of heavenly beast bones in his hands, that Yun Darren offended Lu Chongxing, we can give it to Lu Chongxing." After Qin Yun heard it, he felt angry and funny at the same time. The team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain followed the aura of the purple gold Qilin and chased after it. When they chased after it, they did not forget to be vigilant in all directions. They were all flying in the air, looking behind them from time to time or on the ground. However, they could not find Qin Yun behind them. Qin Yun just heard that this group of people wanted to deal with him and wanted to capture him and give him to Lu Chongxing. He can't tolerate this kind of thing. "Want to catch me? Then don't blame me." Qin Yun was secretly angry in his heart and carefully followed. The purple gold Qilin fought with the heavenly fire python and then was attacked by Kumingjiang. It seems that it was also hit by a Dao talisman and the injuries on its body are not light. When it escaped, it left behind a lot of residual aura. Originally, there were many traces of trees being burned along the way. But later, those traces suddenly disappeared. The team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain also quickly swooped down from the air. Did it fly away? Impossible, there is no aura of the purple gold Qilin in the air. Then there is only one possibility, it turned into a human form. It is said that some powerful heavenly beasts can turn into humans when they are born. "Split up and search," the captain said. "We have a total of 10 people, divided into 5 teams. Don't go alone. If you encounter any attacks, use sound transmission talisman to send us a sound transmission talisman and let us know your location." After the captain finished speaking, He quickly divided into 5 small teams and expanded their search. Qin Yun carefully floated in the forest. He had also heard the captain's words and secretly admired this team. Not only were they well prepared, they were also very cautious. In this kind of jungle, it was indeed dangerous to move alone. If you were ambushed by something, you wouldn't even know if you died. If there were 2 of them, even if they were ambushed, they wouldn't be killed so easily. They could still send out a signal or something. Qin Yun chose 2 people and very carefully followed them. In his heart, he was also thinking about how to quickly kill those 2 people. After following them for more than an hour, he came up with a plan. It was to first use a few body-securing talismans to freeze the 2 people, and then control the flying dagger to attack. After the flying daggers shot out, he used the 9 Sun Divine Hammer to quickly kill them, not giving them a chance to send out their signal talismans. However, Qin Yun was conflicted over a problem. If these 2 people's armor could withstand the body-securing talisman, then they would have failed. One must know that a spirit martial realm martial master's reaction was very fast. Should I use the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron to instantly suck them in? Just as Qin Yun was pondering over the plan, suddenly a red shadow flew out. The speed of the red shadow is very fast, like a ghost. Before Qin Yun could clearly see what it is, a spirit martial realm martial master's body was cut into several pieces. Junior brother Wang. Not far away, a middle-aged man suddenly shouted and quickly threw out a signal talisman. The signal released is very strong and a violent sound exploded in the air. The nearby disciples of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain all rushed over. Qin Yun secretly cursed the red shadow in his heart for ruining his plans. Because he had a better sneak attack plan, this would ensure that he could kill 2 people without being discovered. He didn't know where the red shadow ran to, but he couldn't just run away like this. After throwing out the signal talisman, Qin Yun controlled the flying daggers to fly over. A few flying daggers silently pierced into the middle-aged man's body. It has to be said that the middle-aged man's armor is very strong. Qin Yun's flying daggers can only penetrate halfway, barely able to injure the middle-aged man. Explode. Qin Yun is also depressed in his heart. These disciples of immortal sects are not as easy to sneak attack as he imagined. He can only quickly control a flying dagger to explode the middle-aged man, so that he can succeed and leave no trace. Grandson of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, you want to catch me and hand me over to Lu Chongxing? No way. Qin Yun also quickly hid. The first to arrive is the captain. He saw his team members die and he is very angry. The other team members were secretly frightened in their hearts. The reason for that was because the 2 disciples who had died were pretty strong. In such a short period of time, they were killed by a sneak attack. Qin Yun is also secretly on guard against the red shadow. He doesn't know what it is because the speed is too fast to see clearly. And the strength is certainly not weak, otherwise it would be impossible to split the body of the disciple in an instant. The middle-aged captain frowned, looked in one direction and said, "Over there. That guy just exposed his aura." Qin Yun did not sense any aura. "Go." The middle-aged captain shouted coldly and quickly chased. Qin Yun can't help but wonder if this captain is a dog. His nose is actually so sharp. Kumingjiang is the same. He was the first to find the purple gold qilin. This made Qin Yun more cautious, keeping a distance of several kilometers and following the team. After the captain passed, he let the other 7 team members take out a big flag. Flag array? Qin Yun looked at the flags of different colors and was secretly surprised. The 7 team members waved the flag and suddenly released a special power. A light shield suddenly fell and covered a large area in front of them. After the light shield covered, a strong flame aura erupted in the area. It is the aura of the purple gold qilin. This beast can really turn into a human. The captain laughed. "We got it." He spread a black net and shrouded the front. The big net slowly tightened and soon a red figure appeared. It is an old woman wearing fiery red armor. A living purple-gold Qilin, and it can also turn into a human form. The captain is very excited. The heavenly beast caught by our azure flame immortal mountain is much more powerful than the heavenly fire python of Immortal Weapon City. Qin Yun sighed in his heart. I have no chance to destroy this team, I can only be on guard against them in the future. The team of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain is indeed very strong, and they have many powerful Xian tools and Dao tools. It is difficult for him to deal with them alone. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly saw a white light flying over. It's the little deer. Little thing, what are you doing here? Hurry up, it's very dangerous here. Qin Yun quickly released his mental force and locked on the little deer. Good man, you help Grandma Qilin. If you save her, we will give you a reward. The delicate voice of the little deer pleaded. This is not easy to save. Those guys are too strong. Qin Yun responded quickly and was surprised that this little deer actually knew the Qilin. You can summon the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion, as long as you disturb them and distract their attention, then go over and find a way to break the net. The little deer said, Then Grandma Qilin can escape. If you run away, how can you give me a reward? Qin Yun secretly curled his lips and said, Also, why should I believe you? Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain has been getting less and less medicinal herbs over the years. The few Xian medicines have been collected by me. If you are willing to save Grandma Qilin, I am willing to give you some. The little deer said, its antlers flashed slightly and a fruit appeared. When Qin Yun saw the fruit, he knew that it was a Xian fruit, a Xian-level medicinal herb. This is for you, you eat it, the little deer said. Qin Yun walked over, took the fruit and took a bite. It is indeed a Xian fruit. He suddenly felt that if this little deer has the medicinal herbs to refine the bone spirit Xian pill, then he will step into the spirit martial realm soon. Well, I will believe you this time. Qin Yun is ready to fight for those Xian medicines. As long as he does not expose his face, it will be fine. Good man, if you succeed, I can find you too. The little deer said, You can rest assured about this. Qin Yun chewed the sweet Xian fruit, thinking of getting a batch of Xian medicines. His heart is also secretly excited. Many Xian medicines are controlled by immortal sects. Even if there is a large number of purple crystal coins, it is difficult to buy. Well, I will give it a try. If it doesn't succeed, don't blame me. After all, my strength is limited. Qin Yun immediately thought of a plan. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, after catching the purple-gold Qilin, also surrounded and watched. I thought it was a young Qilin. I didn't expect it to be this old guy. The middle-aged captain looked disgusted and then took out a big beast bag, ready to put the Qilin grandmother inside. Suddenly, the earth shook violently. There was an earthquake, and it was a very strong earthquake. The earth undulated up and down and many cracks appeared. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain also fiercely floated in the air. They just arrived in the air. Qin Yun continued to use the earthquake divine ability, covering the air with the power of vibration. Moreover, the earth also spewed out a shock wave, hitting the 8 people in the air. Qilin grandmother is still in the same place, covered by a big net. Qin Yun saw that the opportunity has come and quickly rushed over. Don't even think about succeeding. The captain was shaken in the air, and felt uncomfortable and some pain, but he could sense that there is an aura approaching. He hurriedly took out a large cage. Chapter 557. 9 Extinction Primordial Force. After Qin Yun was covered by a cage, he cursed in his heart. He did not expect the other party to have this skill. How can the Dao tools in the hands of these bastards be so powerful? Are they all sacrificial refined? He attacked the cage with all his might, but it was useless. Are you also a Qilin beast? The captain came over and laughed. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain all gathered around. They all felt a very terrible shock power just now, so they did not think that it was the power that a human should have. Qin Yun wore a mask and black clothes, so he was not recognized. It seems that I can only use the mysterious penetration divine ability. Qin Yun quickly came to the side of the Qilin old grandma and took off the net on her. He wanted to use the mysterious penetration divine ability to leave but found that it was blocked. His mysterious penetration divine ability could not penetrate this cage. Great, are you going to pass through this cage? The captain was slightly surprised and then laughed. Ha ha ha, this cage is specially made to prevent heavenly beasts from using the power of divine ability. You can't use the power of divine ability just now. With that, the captain controlled the cage and shot out a violent thunder. Boom boom boom. Several thunder and lightning hit Qin Yun's body and opened his mask. Fortunately, he only opened the mask, the beard on his face is still there. It's you? Yun Darren. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were surprised. Qin Yun said coldly. Originally, it was our Captain Ku who first encountered this Qilin beast, but you suddenly intervened and shot out a talisman tool. You bunch of despicable guys. That talisman tool was shot out by me, ha ha ha, so what? Since it was discovered by you, then don't think about living. The captain laughed and said, I didn't expect that you really have guts, dare to rob things from Gu Qingfeng's hand. This Gu Qingfeng looks relatively young but he is relatively old. Qin Yun guessed that Gu Qingfeng specially spent a long time to sacrificial refine those Dao tools, so he can use them so smoothly. He even believes that the major immortal sects have arranged for their disciples to sacrificial refine Dao tools long ago, in order to prepare to enter the heavenly beast desolate domain to catch heavenly beasts. Kumingjiang should be injured badly, right? He can't even protect himself, let alone you. Gu Qingfeng proudly smiled and said, You this guy, beating Lu Chongxing is so enjoyable, he must hate you. Take a guess, if I were to sell you to him, what kind of price would he give? Don't even think about succeeding. Qin Yun suddenly took out his weapon and crazily hacked at the cage. The cage had a very strong barrier. Under the protection of this very strong barrier, Qin Yun could not even release the flying knife. You actually have a storage Dharma treasure. You hid it really well. Tell me, did you get something good in that big house? Gu Qingfeng's face suddenly became full of greed. I didn't get anything. Qin Yun has encountered a thorny problem. Next, he could only try using the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. Gu Qingfeng shouted, You don't want to say it? Let's see how stubborn you can be. As he spoke, he suddenly took out a spear and stabbed it into the cage, piercing Qin Yun's body. It's a Dao tool. Qin Yun looked at the Dao runes on the spear and shouted in a low voice. His powerful heavenly lion Xian body could not resist the sharp Dao tool piercing at this time. This cage is also very special. Can't be pierced from the inside, but it can be pierced from the outside. Good eyesight. Worthy of being the guy who can make Lu Chongxing eat a big loss. Gu Qingfeng smiled a few times. Next, I will let you taste the most terrible. ZZ. A thunder and lightning power suddenly rushed out from Gu Qingfeng's arm and purple-gold electric threads poured into Qin Yun's body from the spear. The violent purple-gold thunder and lightning power in Qin Yun's body made Qin Yun twitch. I clearly have the black thunder and fire martial spirit, but I am still so painful. This guy is really terrible. Although Qin Yun shouted, he can still hold on. He could still endure this kind of pain. This only makes him feel very painful and it can't cause him any harm. Gu Qingfeng also felt surprised because if it was an ordinary 9th-level martial Dao realm cultivator, they would have already fainted from the electric shock, but Qin Yun can shout and look energetic. When Gu Qingfeng destroyed Qin Yun, he also took out a sound transmission conch and sent a sound transmission to Lu Chongxing. He just asked him to come over, and said that he wanted to make a deal, and did not say anything else. Qin Yun is constantly being electrocuted, and he can't use the power in his body. Even if he takes out the 9 Sun Divine Hammer, he is powerless to use it. This can't go on, I will be destroyed. Qin Yun is also trying to find a way because he is trapped in this strange cage. He can't use his magical power to summon the Heavenly Lion. If he releases the Bone Dragon puppet, it will not be able to break through this cage. He needed a spacious place to release the Bone Dragon. Yundaran, tell me, what did you get from that big house? Gu Qingfeng believes that Qin Yun got a good thing because he now found that this Yundaran is very cunning. Captain, this guy just released a strong vibration power. Did he get a good Dao tool? A middle-aged man asked. Impossible. My Dao tool has been refined for a long time to be able to be used smoothly. Gu Qingfeng quickly shook his head. When the Heavenly Beast's desolate domain is closed, I have to return those Dao tools. This guy's endurance is very strong. A young man said and took out a long sword, which is a Xian tool. He stabbed his long sword and wanted to stab Qin Yun a few times, but found that he could not stab through. This guy has a Dao tool armor on his body? The young man was shocked because his Xian tool could not pierce through. My spear easily pierced his body. He does not have a Dao tool. Gu Qingfeng is very sure. Although Qin Yun is being tortured, his Heavenly Lion Xian body is still very strong. It is difficult to pierce his body with a Xian tool that is not completely refined. Just as Qin Yun was thinking about a way, he suddenly saw a silver-white shadow flying over. The little deer appeared. The speed of the little deer is very fast. After flying over, it hit Gu Qingfeng's body with its antlers. The armor on Gu Qingfeng's body is only a Xian tool treasure armor. The defense is slightly lacking, causing him to be directly hit and break his waist, making a cracking sound. This little thing is a Heavenly Beast cub. Take her. Gu Qingfeng turned his head and shouted in anger. Lu Chongxing has seen this little thing before, grab it. The little deer hurriedly ran away, but it was caught in an instant. The little deer in the net kept struggling and looked very pitiful. Little bastard, you dare to break my waist! Gu Qingfeng said angrily. Throw her over! The team members hurriedly brought the little deer over. Gu Qingfeng supported his broken waist, stepped on the head of the little deer, took out a whip and madly whipped it. After the Qilin grandmother saw the little deer, she was very sad and kept screaming in anger. Her body overflowed with a burst of purple gold flame. Bastard, let her go! Qilin grandmother roared. I won't let go, what can you do? Ha ha! Gu Qingfeng laughed fiercely. The little deer kept screaming, looked at Qin Yun in despair, and sent a voice transmission to Qin Yun. Good man, I am sorry, I hurt you. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have caught it. Qin Yun's heart was very sad. His originally numb and painful body was suddenly rushed by a surge of anger. Gu Qingfeng kicked the little deer and gave Qin Yun a chance to breathe. He quickly broke free from the spear that pierced his body and took out the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. Qin Yun hammered the spear and directly broke the Dao runes on it. After Gu Qingfeng heard a loud bang, he looked at Qin Yun fiercely. Qin Yun has already waved the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and hit the cage a few times. The cage is a Dao tool level, but it was hit by the 9 Sun Divine Hammer a few times. The Dao runes on it were also damaged and the entire cage was damaged. Qilin grandmother, quickly take the little deer away. Qin Yun quickly shouted and then summoned 2 Nether-realm Heavenly Lions. Gu Qingfeng and others were shocked when they saw 2 Nether-realm Heavenly Lions suddenly appear. They did not expect that these 2 black lions were actually summoned by people. Because Lu Chongxing had encountered these 2 Nether-realm Heavenly Lions before, he also told others. You, who the hell are you? Gu Qingfeng was furious and wanted to kill the little deer. However, Qilin grandmother fiercely broke the cage and blasted Gu Qingfeng to the distance. 2 black lions appeared and quickly entered the battle, fighting fiercely with several other team members. Gu Qingfeng was hit by Qilin. He was angry and quickly rushed to Qin Yun. "You bastards, you tortured me so painfully!" Qin Yun, who was furious, held the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and hit Gu Qingfeng. 6-style Forging Dragon was continuously displayed through the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. The power is monstrous. A few hammers fell, as if the sky collapsed and the earth collapsed, thunder roared and thunder surged. Endless primordial Tao power was like a raging storm as it continuously charged forward. The most powerful place of the 9 Sun Divine Hammer is that it can turn Qin Yun's most ordinary Tao power into the strongest primordial Tao power. It allowed him to unleash the strongest form of power with a minimal consumption of energy. After he used the 9 Extinction Tao power, the 9 Extinction Primordial power is even more terrifying. It is as if the monstrous power of life and death, one after another pressure. Gu Qingfeng's broken spear was hit a few times and was broken into several pieces. As for Gu Qingfeng, he was being attacked by the stacked 9 Extinction Primordial Force wave after wave. At first, only the clothes on his body were broken, then the Xian armor and then the flesh on his body was torn. After Qin Yun hit more than 10 times, Gu Qingfeng turned into a bloody man, lying on the ground and unable to move. "Captain, let's run and report this to the higher-ups." A middle-aged man was also frightened and quickly flew into the sky. After Qin Yun saw it, he released the bone dragon. Chapter 558. By Xiaolu, the 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions were even more terrifying. Heavenly Lions Heavenly Roar and Heavenly Lions Fighting Dragon Claw were used alternately and killed 2 middle-aged men. Qin Yun held the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and chased after the fleeing middle-aged men. He swung his hammer from afar, and the shock wave from the smash was like a wave, directly smashing the person to the ground. The moment he was knocked over, Qin Yun rushed over and killed him with a hammer strike. Now there are still 3 middle-aged spirit martial realm cultivators. They are entangled by 2 nether realm heavenly lions and bone dragon puppets. They can't get away at all. After Qin Yun arrived, he used the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and killed it in 2 or 3 strikes. Boom, boom, boom. Following a series of explosions that shook the sky, the main sect disciples of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were also killed by Qin Yun. Qin Yun removed their martial spirits and threw their corpses into the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppression Cauldron to burn. What surprised him was that Gu Qingfeng actually has dual martial spirits, Thunder Martial Spirit and Fire Martial Spirit, both Purple Gold Martial Spirit. The others all had Purple Gold Fire Martial Spirit. Gu Qingfeng had 2 storage spirit tools, one was given by the sect and the other was his own. The one given by the sect didn't have a blood pact. Therefore, Qin Yun could directly take out the things inside. There was a total of more than 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. There should be something in Gu Qingfeng's storage bag, but Qin Yun could not get it and could only give up regretfully. Grandma Qilin looked at the young man and was shocked. Especially when she felt the aura of Heavenly Lion Xian body from Qin Yun, she thought that Qin Yun was a Heavenly Lion. Qin Yun let the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion return and put away the Bone Dragon puppet. He took out a light-patterned spirit talisman and pasted it on Grandma Qilin. "This can help you heal, quickly take me to a safe place," Qin Yun said. Although he destroyed Gu Qingfeng's squad, he also consumed a lot of energy. If another equally powerful team appeared, he wouldn't be able to handle it. Although Grandma Qilin does not like human beings, she has to admit that she and the little deer were saved by Qin Yun. Now, she could only trust Qin Yun and bring him away from this place. Even though the Qilin heavenly beast was injured, it could still escape quickly. She carried the little deer and brought Qin Yun with her. She did not speak along the way as they left the intense battlefield. In her mind, she couldn't help but recall the 2 Nether Realm Heavenly Lions. Just half an hour after Qin Yun and others left, Lu Chongxing arrived. Lu Chongxing led his team and looked at the mess here and then sensed the aura here. He frowned and said, "There is the aura of the two black heavenly lions. Could it be that Brother Gu met the heavenly lion and sent me a sound transmission? There was an intense battle here. I wonder what happened to them." A member of the team said. "Let's look around." Lu Chongxing became very alert. After searching for a while, they didn't find any other clues, but they did find the minced meat of a corpse. It was smashed into pieces by a very large object with an extremely strong impact. A middle-aged man looked at the dismembered corpses with a horrified expression. "It looks like the claws of a giant beast. There are still many heavenly beasts in the heavenly beast desolate domain. The elders said that there are not many heavenly beasts here, and they are not strong." Lu Chongxing snorted and said, "Gu Qingfeng may have been annihilated, are they not strong? The heavenly beasts here are really not terrible." The purple gold Qilin was caught. Kumingjiang also caught a huge heavenly fire python. Qin Yun followed Grandma Qilin, and after running for a few hours, he slowed down until it was dark. Then, he followed the silent old granny into a hole in the ground and went very deep underground. There is a very clean underground room. Grandma Qilin put the injured little deer on a small bed full of flowers. After the little deer overflowed with silver and white clouds, it gradually turned into a human form. Qin Yun was a little surprised. This is the first time he saw a heavenly beast turn into a human. After the white light on the little deer disappeared, he saw a girl in white with a haggard face lying on the flower bed. The girl is 16 or 17 years old and is close to maturity, but there is a hint of immaturity. Lying on the flower bed, her face gradually regained its ruddy color. This young girl had the appearance of a fairy. Her skin was like jade and her eyebrows were picturesque. She was quiet and pleasant. She was using a pair of watery eyes to size up Qin Yun with shyness and curiosity. "I saved your Grandma Qilin. You said you would give me some Xian medicine. Now fulfill your promise," Qin Yun said. After Grandma Qilin heard it, she frowned. "Xiaolu, is this true?" The girl nodded, looked at Qin Yun and said, "I am by Xiaolu, thank you for your help. I promised you things, I will definitely do it." "Grandma, he just saved you. He also took a lot of risks and suffered a lot of torture, you just saw it." Bai Xiaolu slowly walked out of bed, took the arm of Grandma Qilin and whispered, Okay. Grandma Qilin sighed. This Grandma Qilin does not like humans, but now she has to thank Qin Yun and said, "Thank you, young man." "You are welcome. I also saw that there is a reward to help." Qin Yun smiled. "This young master, I will take you to get the Xian medicine now," Bai Xiaolu said and pushed open a door of the underground room. Qin Yun followed him and came to another relatively spacious underground stone room. There were some drafts scattered here and there, as well as a fruit tree. "These are all Xian medicine." Bai Xiaolu looked at the flowers and plants with love. "There are night lotus and moon spirit rose, and there are many." Qin Yun looked at it and saw the Xian medicine he wanted. There are 10 of them. "This can cultivate bone spirit," Bai Xiaolu whispered. "I want 8 of each, can I?" Qin Yun said. "He urgently needs to use it for alchemy." Bai Xiaolu nodded, then carefully picked it for Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out a jade box to store. There are also some other Xian medicine. Qin Yun recognized a few of the more useful ones and asked for one. "Enough, I am not the kind of person who is particularly greedy." Qin Yun smiled with great satisfaction. Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain, immortal energy is getting thinner and Xian medicine is getting less and less. This place is no longer suitable for us. Grandma Qilin sighed. "But we don't have the strength to go out, we can only rely on these Xian medicine to grow." Bai Xiaolu nodded and whispered, "This young master, I thought you would take all the Xian medicine here, thank you for your mercy. You want to leave here? I can show you the way, The premise is that you have to trust me. Qin Yun suddenly thought of an idea and said, "You want to take us out?" Grandma Qilin frowned. "You seem to have a big enemy, can this work?" "You believe me, then there is no problem." Qin Yun smiled. "What's your name?" "We don't know your name." Bai Xiaolu asked in a low voice. She was also a little shy when asking other people's names. "Qin Yun." Qin Yun smiled slightly. "Young Master Qin, did you enter the Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion?" Grandma Qilin asked very curiously. "Yes." Qin Yun nodded. "That is the mansion built by the Heavenly Lion old ancestor. He killed many evil heavenly beasts to make this place peaceful, so that everyone can grow up," Grandma Qilin said with some sadness. "But since he left here, everything has changed. So are you willing to believe me? I will let you go to Spirit Desolate. There is also a place to go." Qin Yun said. "Go to Spirit Desolate?" Grandma Qilin said with some worry. "How is the situation there?" "It's still calm," Qin Yun said. Bai Xiaolu said, "After we heavenly beasts cultivate to immortal, we leave here and go to the immortal road of Spirit Desolate and enter the immortal Desolate. But it takes a long time. Especially now there is no immortal energy here, it is more difficult to cultivate." "It turned out to be like this," Qin Yun said. "After going to Spirit Desolate, the situation should be better." Grandma Qilin and Bai Xiaolu also trusted Qin Yun. Bai Xiaolu's beast soul is very special, it can open up a special space and put those Xian medicines into her space. Qin Yun took out the Fox Immortal token and began to look for the disciples of Demon Moon Island. "Young Master Qin, the two beautiful human sisters I met last time, do you know them? Are they all right?" Bai Xiaolu asked with some worry. She met Feng Honglan last time and suddenly had a very close feeling with Feng Honglan. Qin Yun just saw that she likes flowers very much, so he can understand. Because Feng Honglan's martial spirit is Red Orchid martial spirit. "Yes, she is very good now. I just intend to let you be with her," Qin Yun said. "They are going to enter a new sect, there are also many demon beasts and fairies, it is very suitable for you." This made Grandma Qilin look forward to it. Not long after, Qin Yun met with Yao Min, the fat ant. Xiao Yuelon and Tian Ruling are also together. After Qin Yun brought Bai Xiaolu and Grandma Qilin, he briefly explained the situation. This made Yao Min excited. Qilin is a very powerful heavenly beast. If it joins their Demon Moon Island, it will definitely bring them a strong power. When Feng Honglan saw Bai Xiaolu, she recognized the little deer. "Xiao Yun, your Captain Ku is injured and the Azure Flame Immortal Mountains Gu Qingfeng team was also destroyed." Xiao Yuelon asked here and probably guessed that Qin Yun did it. "Well, I'm going back to find my captain. I still have tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones with him." Qin Yun laughed and after saying goodbye to Xiao Yuelon, he left excitedly. He is now going to the entrance and exit of the Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain, which is the safest gathering place. Kuming Jiang is healing there. The entrance and exit is a large light curtain, and near this light curtain is a large grassland. There are many tents here, which are built by many teams of various sections. There are many injured people, and they are all healing here. They did not go out immediately because they were worried that they could not come back after going out and miss the opportunity to make meritorious service. Therefore, they can only continue to catch heavenly beasts after healing in this safe place. After someone saw Qin Yun coming, he was surprised and whispered, "This bearded man, isn't he Yundaran? The man who slapped Lu Chongxing 3 times. Still a man? After he goes out, he doesn't even know how he died." One person whispered, "Offended Lu Chongxing, the end is very worrying." Chapter 559. Wave-catching Xian Palm. As soon as Qin Yun came here, Lu Chongxing immediately learned and quickly ran out to sea. Not long after, Kumingjiang in another tent also came out with Jian Mang and many other disciples. In these days, Lu Chongxing has been laughed at by many people. This is the most intolerable thing for Lu Chongxing. If he loses to an opponent of the same level as Kumingjiang, his heart may feel much better. However, he had lost to a nobody at the 9th stage of the martial Dao and had even been slapped 3 times. Although the game of slapping was proposed by him first, but the one who suffered a big loss was also himself, so this made him take it to heart. Qin Yun looked at Lu Chongxing with a calm smile on his face. Kumingjiang was injured before and has not recovered. Everyone knows that Kumingjiang is injured and his strength is bound to drop. Therefore, some people suspect that Lu Chongxing may be here to avenge his great hatred. When he was at the gate of the mansion, Qin Yun was protected by Kumingjiang, so Lu Chongxing could not do anything. Now, Kumingjiang is seriously injured and he is definitely not Kumingjiang's opponent. Yun Darren, you have been in the limelight these days, there are rumors of your mighty deeds everywhere. Lu Chongxing put on a fake smile and his voice contained a murderous aura and coldness. This is all because Lu Gongzi let me win the competition, Qin Yun said with a smile. These words, in Lu Chongxing's ears, are so harsh as if mocking him. Lu Chongxing, what do you want to do? You can go out from here, there are elders of various sects outside. Kumingjiang is also worried that Lu Chongxing will mess around. You know, Lu Chongxing is an arrogant and despotic disciple. After suffering such a great humiliation, he will not give up so easily. Lu Chongxing looked at the light curtain. If he goes out, he will miss his last chance. Because Qin Yun will definitely become an outer sect disciple of Immortal Weapon City, it will be hard for him to make a move. If he didn't get it back here, the fact that he had suffered a loss here would become a joke for a very long time. Qin Yun also saw a trace of killing intent and decisiveness in Lu Chongxing's eyes and quickly became vigilant. Right now, he was wearing a Dao artifact armor. Coupled with his powerful heavenly lion Xian body, even if he was attacked, he would not suffer too much damage. Yun Darren, let's go out together. Kumingjiang also saw something wrong and quickly pulled Qin Yun and rushed to the light curtain. Lu Chongxing suddenly flashed over and stopped Kumingjiang and Qin Yun. You are not allowed to go, Lu Chongxing said coldly. Why do you stop us? Kumingjiang's face sank and asked in a cold tone. When this bastard was fighting with me, he used some tricks. I just remembered it now, so I can't let him leave. Lu Chongxing fiercely took out a sword and pointed it at Qin Yun. He is a 9th-level martial Dao realm guy. In arm wrestling, he won against 3 spirit martial realm martial artists. This is simply not in line with common sense. So, he must have used some kind of trick. This is cheating. I want the heavenly beast bones we lost. Lu Chongxing did not get the heavenly beast bones, they were all from other medicine Immortal Valley disciples. Now that he has lost so much, it has made many disciples dissatisfied, but they dare not say it. If he can't get back those heavenly beast bones, it will also make his prestige in medicine Immortal Valley decline. Lu Chongxing seems to be sure that the team of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain was destroyed. Although he lost a team of strong partners, he is still fearless because there are other disciples of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain here. Kumingjiang was injured and some of the other teams of Immortal Weapon City did not come back. In this place, the strongest are the people of his medicine Immortal Valley. Kumingjiang sneered. Lu Chongxing, you are really a shameless thing. You said that Yun Darren cheated, you have to come up with evidence, just with your mouth, who will believe you? There are 3 people in our medicine Immortal Valley who have wrestled with him. At that time, because they smelled a fragrance, their whole body was weak, obviously he poisoned them. After Lu Chongxing finished, the other 2 people who had competed with Qin Yun stood up and proved that this is true. They are all your people, you have colluded with each other, this is not convincing at all. Kumingjiang sneered. I don't care. In short, we lost in confusion at that time. This must be Yundaren's doing. Lu Chongxing said angrily. As long as you return 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones to us, this matter will be over. Otherwise, if we go out and let the elders intervene, Yundaren, who used poison, will die. Kumingjiang laughed. Let's go out. Who is afraid of who? Lu Chongxing did not let him go out, he still blocked them. Kumingjiang, we are all spirit martial realm martial masters. In arm wrestling, we lost to a 9th level martial Dao realm guy. This is not in line with common sense. At that time, I also lost inexplicably and I was slapped 3 times. My reputation was greatly affected because of this. In order to defend my honor, I basically put my life on the line to get it back. Lu Chongxing seems to have made a decision to fight. For my reputation, I am willing to fight you to the death. Lu Chongxing said coldly. Are you going to solve this matter peacefully or use your life to solve it? Let's fight. Qin Yun was not afraid at all. Kumingjiang also knows what Lu Chongxing is planning. If they really fight, regardless of winning or losing, Kumingjiang will have a certain loss. If they win, it means that Lu Chongxing will die. After going out, they will also be held accountable by Medicine Immortal Valley. Even if Immortal Weapon City can protect them, they will definitely be punished when they return to Immortal Weapon City. Even if it is a peaceful solution, it can't be too much. Kumingjiang thought about it carefully and chose a more conservative way to solve this matter. Lu Chongxing's face showed a smile. My request is not too much. Let's do it again. 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. This time, we won't play arm wrestling, we will fight directly. The people of Medicine Immortal Valley went back and thought about it carefully. They felt that if they did not play arm wrestling, they would not lose so badly. They are very confident in their own combat effectiveness. Well, which one of you will fight? Kumingjiang's injury has not fully recovered, but he still accepted this way to solve the problem. Qin Yun was secretly unhappy because if it was him, he would directly fight with Lu Chongxing and others. There is no need to be afraid of anything. However, Kumingjiang is injured and he has too many scruples. I will fight. Lu Chongxing smiled proudly. Kumingjiang, who will you send out from your side? The onlookers are looking forward to it, because in a while, they will be able to see Lu Chongxing's battle. Qin Yun feels that he still has hope to win against Lu Chongxing, provided that Lu Chongxing does not act shamelessly. I will fight. Kumingjiang is much older than Lu Chongxing and feels that even if he is injured, he can defeat Lu Chongxing, a young man. Can you use weapons? Qin Yun asked. Of course not. Lu Chongxing snorted. If you compare weapons, your Immortal Weapon City will definitely have the advantage. Kumingjiang said, You don't have to worry, I will definitely win. Qin Yun looked at Jianmeng. He felt that Jianmeng could defeat Lu Chongxing. Lu Chongxing laughed and said, As expected of Kumingjiang, he is confident. Everyone also gave way to a large open space. The nearby tents have also been put away. Qin Yun floated in the air and looked around, looking for the whereabouts of the female disciples of Demon Moon Island, and wanted to see if Xiao Yuelon and the others were here. Those female disciples of Demon Moon Island, the overall strength is still very strong. If they are here, Qin Yun will feel a lot more at ease. Qin Yun looked for a while and did not see Xiao Yuelon and the others. They may have already left. They took the 2 heavenly beasts, Grandma Qilin and Bai Xiaolu, and quickly left to be safe. Start! After Lu Chongxing shouted, his body quickly floated towards Kumingjiang and a strong purple-gold flame gushed out of his body. What was surprising was that there were actually traces of lines in his flames. That is totem fire. This bastard, he has a fire totem. Ling Yun'er was slightly surprised. He really has some skills, maybe his physique is also good. It is very likely to be a fire Xian body. What about Kumingjiang? Qin Yun asked. Kumingjiang's martial spirit should be the river martial spirit. This is also a very strong legendary martial spirit. If used well, it should be able to restrain the flames. Qin Yun heard the words of Ling Yun and was relieved. Lu Chongxing went over and fire palm was released. Every single palm strike of flames brought along a scorching wave of air that spread into the surroundings, causing everyone to be extremely shocked. Kumingjiang met the attack with his fists. Each of his punches carried a strong Dao power. Like the impact of a river, there is a kind of stormy wave. In terms of momentum, Kumingjiang suppressed Lu Chongxing. However, Qin Yun also saw something wrong. Kumingjiang's momentum looks strong, but it is slightly lacking in stamina. The injuries on his body are not good. It is the group of bastards from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. A moment later, from the fight between the two, although Lu Chongxing was suppressed, he dealt with it very calmly. When Kumingjiang punched, it seemed a bit messy. Kumingjiang, I know that your strength is not as strong as me, you will lose. Lu Chongxing smiled proudly and the flame overflowing from his palms suddenly became more intense. His palms suddenly transformed into two gigantic purple-gold fire palms. The flames of these two purple-gold fire palms are full of totem runes. Lu Chongxing has not been in Medicine Immortal Valley for long and he has learned this wave-capturing mysterious palm to this point. Wave-capturing mysterious palm is a good Xian technique. It can transform the martial spirit into a pair of giant palms. When attacking, the power will also increase. Kumingjiang's martial spirit should be the legendary Great River martial spirit. It is also a water attribute martial spirit. It should be able to release water and restrain Lu Chongxing's flame. Lu Chongxing's wave-capturing mysterious palm is specially used to restrain water. It is very unpredictable. Qin Yun heard the discussions of the people and was even more worried. The speed of Lu Chongxing's palm suddenly accelerated a lot. Hoo! Chapter 560. Slander. With Lu Chongxing's wave capturing mysterious palm, he immediately reversed the situation. The offensive was fierce and Kumingjiang was suppressed at once. Kumingjiang was beaten by the pair of large purple-gold flame palms and kept retreating. The terrible thing is that when Lu Chongxing shot out his palm, the violent waves swept out are like a scorching knife. It has to be said that this wave-capturing mysterious palm is really very powerful. After Kumingjiang's big wave was hit by the fire palm, it directly turned into steam and dissipated. Moreover, when the flame meets the water, it will continue to rise. It's like boiling oil meets water. Hua! After a few rounds of fighting, Kumingjiang suddenly lost his hand and failed to attack. He had no time to avoid Lu Chongxing's quick palm sweep, causing his head to be directly hit. Boom! This palm burst into a large flame and swept Kumingjiang out. Lu Chongxing suddenly laughed and said, "I will win." He quickly chased after Kumingjiang, one palm after another, hit Kumingjiang's body. "Stop, we lost." Qin Yun quickly flew over and protected Kumingjiang. Jian Mang and two middle-aged spirit martial realm also rushed over. "It's good that you lost. Give me 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones." Lu Chongxing looked proud and sneered. "Kumingjiang, are you just like this? You have been in the spirit martial realm for so long and you are still not as good as me." Kumingjiang lost and lost miserably. This caused many people to sigh. Qin Yun said coldly, "Lu Chongxing, don't be proud, who doesn't know that Captain Ku is injured? You are just taking advantage of people, what is there to show off?" Kumingjiang was treated by the two middle-aged spirit martial realm and his injuries improved a little. He could only hand over 50,000 heavenly beast bones to Lu Chongxing. Lu Chongxing looked at the pile of heavenly beast bones and then weighed them. He laughed and said, "Yun Daren, no matter what, I have defeated Kumingjiang fair and square. Yun Daren, You can only defeat me with tricks like arm wrestling. Now everyone has seen it, right? I am not weak at all. The reason why I lost to this Lord Yun earlier was because he used despicable means. Lu Chongqing put away the 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bone and looked at the injured Kumingjiang. His mood was much better. Kumingjiang took a few deep breaths and said to Lu Chongqing, "This matter, let's end it here. How can we just let it go like this? Unless you take out 150,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, I will not let it go. We will compete again." Lu Chongqing said, "I'll do it. Send a 9th-level martial Dao disciple to compete with me." Qin Yun said, "I'm sorry, our 9th-level martial Dao disciples are all injured." Lu Chongqing smirked and said, "You are not worthy to compete with us spirit martial realm martial artists." Qin Yun was furious but was pulled by the injured Kumingjiang. "Jian Meng, you go," Kumingjiang coldly said. Lu Chongqing quickly said, "We will not fight with sword cultivators. This kind of guy can cultivate a very strong origin sword, it is equivalent to them cheating." Kumingjiang gritted his teeth and said, "Emo Sun, go up and meet him." Emo Sun is a middle-aged man with a square face, thick eyebrows and big eyes. He usually doesn't talk much, but he is a spirit martial realm martial artist. "Okay, I will defeat him." Emo Sun nodded. Qin Yun quickly helped Kumingjiang and floated in the air. The competition between Emo Sun and Lu Chongqing has already begun. Emo Sun's martial spirit is Purple Gold Thunder Ape Martial Spirit. At the beginning, he let the Purple Gold Thunder Ape Martial Spirit attach to his body, making him look like a half-human half-ape savage. Emo Sun, who looked silent and honest before, suddenly became very wild after entering this state. He issued a burst of roars and purple thunder continued to appear on his body. Lu Chongqing also felt a bit tricky and quickly avoided the purple thunder that gushed out of Emo Sun's mouth. After avoiding it, Lu Chongqing immediately moved quickly. While it was moving, bolts of purple lightning kept falling from the sky. Everyone has to be shocked by the strength of Lu Chongqing. He can actually have such a crazy speed to avoid the lightning attack. Emo Sun is also angry and quickly rushed to Lu Chongqing and fought in close combat. In close combat, Lu Chongqing is not afraid at all. He directly used his best wave capturing Xian Palm. Boom boom boom. As soon as the two got close, their fists violently collided and thunder and fire fought fiercely. Thunder and fire burst fiercely in all directions, flashing bursts of light continuously, making people feel pain in their eyes. "This guy really has a fire Xian body," Ling Yuner suddenly said. "Little Yun, did you see it? His body has a very special absorption power that can absorb most of the thunder and lightning." "I saw it. Occasionally thunder and lightning hit him but he didn't feel any pain." Qin Yun himself has a Xian body, and he knows that it is because the Xian body absorbs powerful attack. Having a Xian body is equivalent to having a strong armor. "Little Yun, you have Heavenly Lion Xian body, don't worry. This guy's Xian body is the kind that has just been formed, it is still weak. You were able to beat his mouth crooked before, and you didn't find out that he has cultivated a Xian body. It can be seen that his Xian body is not strong." Ling Yun said. "His Xian body is not strong? Do you need to consume your own energy to play a certain role?" Qin Yun suddenly felt that this kind of Xian body also has strong and weak points. Of course. He is just a simple fire Xian body, you have Heavenly Lion Xian body, it is not comparable to you. Just like the Heavenly Lion bloodline, it is the same difference as ordinary beast bloodline. Ling Yun smiled and said, "Little Yun, with your current strength, even if you don't expose your totem martial arts, you can defeat him." Lu Chongqing became more and more excited and his wave capturing Xian Palm became more powerful. Emo Sun couldn't break Lu Chongqing's defense and the wave capturing Xian Palm hit him, but it caused him a lot of damage. Kumingjiang saw that Mo Sen's body was beaten black, and he also felt a little sad. Lu Chongxing, we admit defeat. Kumingjiang also shouted. He secretly blamed himself. He should not have been injured. Otherwise, Lu Chongxing is not his opponent at all. Mo Sen lost and he was very unwilling. He bowed his head very guiltily. Brother, you tried your best, don't be discouraged. Kumingjiang dragged his weak body and patted Mo Sen's shoulder. The crowd of onlookers suddenly burst into cheers and constantly praised Lu Chongxing. Lu Chongxing defeated Kumingjiang before. It can be said that because Kumingjiang was injured, he could take advantage of it. But now that he had defeated Mo Sen, it was the real deal. Here, everyone admires the strong. Lu Chongxing has won 2 battles in a row, which also made many people admire him. After all, the strongest people here are only at the early stage of spirit martial realm. As a result, Lu Chongxing is also the strongest spirit martial realm in the heavenly beast desolate domain. Lu Chongxing's humiliation of being slapped a few times before seemed to have been swept away. Lu Gongzi is really strong. It seems that Yun Daren used dirty means before. We all saw the strength of Lu Gongzi just now. Yun Daren is just a 9th level martial Dao realm. He won against Lu Gongzi in arm wrestling and also slapped Lu Gongzi a few times. He must have used despicable means to succeed. That Yun Daren is too much. Support Lu Gongzi to seek justice. Lu Gongzi, teach that bastard a lesson. Many people began to shout, including many female disciples. Lu Chongxing enjoyed the feeling of being respected, which made him even more proud. He looked at Qin Yun with a proud face and shouted, Yun Daren, did you see it? The eyes of the crowd are bright. What else do you have to say now? What else can I say? Let's fight. Qin Yun said coldly. Since you said that I used means during arm wrestling, then we will now use the method of martial arts to compete again. The onlookers immediately shouted, This guy uses poison, don't fight with him. This guy uses poison, it is impossible to guard against him. You can't win against him in martial arts. He is a 9th level martial Dao realm. He won against 3 people in an arm wrestling. This is indeed a big problem. Lu Gongzi, don't be tricked by him. The people who spoke are also spirit martial realm martial masters. They are now sure that Qin Yun used poison. Qin Yun was smeared by Lu Chongxing, and he is also very angry. Lu Chongxing looked at Qin Yun very proudly and said with a smile, Did you see it? A guy like you simply won by means. You are not worthy to compete with me. You want to compete with me? This is an insult to me. Qin Yun listened to Lu Chongxing's words and could not help but clench his teeth. He looked fiercely at a middle-aged onlooker and said coldly, You just said that I used poison? Do you have evidence? If you don't have proof and slander me, the consequences will be very serious. You despicable guy, are you trying to scare me? The tall and thin middle-aged man floated in the air and said with a strange smile, Do you have the guts to hit me? I want to see how you use poison. Also, I tell you, I am a disciple of Cold Star Valley. I am good at dealing with all kinds of poisons. Your poison can't do anything to me. Shut up. Qin Yun was furious and used 9 extinction steps. No one could see the trajectory of his movement just now. They only saw that he suddenly appeared in front of the tall and thin middle-aged man and punched out. His fist penetrated the middle-aged man's body. There are also many people around the tall and thin middle-aged man. At this time, they were terrified and quickly moved away from Qin Yun. There is no evidence to say that I used poison. This is your end. After Qin Yun retracted his fist, the tall and thin middle-aged man fell from the air with a face full of fear. Qin Yun's attack just now, whether it is speed or strength, is shocking. The terrible thing is that the tall and thin middle-aged man is wearing a royal-grade spirit armor, but he was still punched through. Without a certain amount of strength, it is impossible to break that kind of spirit armor. The most incredible thing is that the middle-aged man is a spirit martial realm martial master, but he was defeated in an instant. Qin Yun looked fiercely at the middle-aged martial masters, who said that he used poison. You just said that I used poison. This is slander me. Quickly come out and admit your mistake. The angry Qin Yun, the heavenly lion bloodline in his body, is roaring. Chapter 561. Fire Xian Body. Chapter 561. Fire Xian Body. The strength that Qin Yun showed at this time is indeed very strong. It is by no means the strength of ordinary 9th-level martial Dao realm. When Lu Chongqing and Qin Yun wrestled, he knew that Qin Yun has no weak strength. But he would never admit such a fact and even slander Qin Yun, so that others would not look down on him. And now, Qin Yun had displayed extraordinary strength, allowing everyone to have a rough understanding of his strength. The person who just said that I use poison, if you have the guts, come out. Qin Yun glanced coldly at the crowd. Come out. A middle-aged man with a big forehead sneered. Your strength is really good, but if you want to defeat Spirit Martial Realm, you are still far from it. The middle-aged man with a big forehead looked at Qin Yun with disdain and said loudly, I am Du On Yuan of Myriad Star Sect, Purple Gold Wind Martial Spirit. If you can't even beat me, don't talk about winning against Lu Chongqing. Lu Chongqing quickly said, Brother Du, you still have to forget it. If you fight with him, in case he uses poison and you have no evidence, he will say that you are slandering him again. He can just punch the disciple of Cold Star Valley, but that's just his sneak attack. It doesn't explain anything. Du On Yuan nodded. Lu Gongzi is right. If I fight with him and he suddenly uses poison, I really can't prove it. Qin Yun saw at a glance that Lu Chongqing must insist that he used poison in any case. Only in this way, Lu Chongqing will not be laughed at because he lost in arm wrestling. For Lu Chongqing's means, Qin Yun has to admire. Moreover, Lu Chongqing has scruples and does not dare to compete with Qin Yun. As long as he insists that he used poison, there is no need to compete. In this way, Qin Yun has no way to prove that he did not use poison. Qin Yun clenched his fist and said coldly, Du On Yuan, I am 100 meters away from you. At this distance, I can't use poison on you, right? If I defeat you in an instant, I don't need to use poison at all and I can prove that I have strong strength. You and I are separated by 100 meters, yet you came over in an instant and defeated me. This is indeed a very strong power. Even a top genius like young Master Lu may not be able to do it. Du On Yuan smiled. If you can't do it, give me 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, how about it? Hearing him mention the heavenly beast bone, everyone cursed in their hearts. This Du On Yuan jumped out to confront Qin Yun, obviously for benefits. Alright, but if you lose, your cultivation will be crippled, so I don't want your heavenly beast bone. Qin Yun clenched his fist and began gathering power. You're so far away from me, and you don't have a chance to poison me. You can't defeat me in an instant, let alone cripple me. No matter how Du On Yuan thought about it, he felt that Qin Yun could never defeat him. Now, I will use my strength to prove that I don't use poison. Moreover, you will also be punished. Qin Yun said expressionlessly. Lu Chongqing frowned, even he was not sure that he could defeat Du On Yuan in an instant. Du On Yuan has just stepped into the spirit martial realm for a few months, but he is not easy to deal with. I'll start. As soon as Du On Yuan finished, he shouted, Start! As soon as the word start fell, Qin Yun disappeared in the blink of an eye, and Du On Yuan also quickly flew away in the blink of an eye. He ran a kilometer away. Unexpectedly, when Du On Yuan just flew a kilometer away, he was chased by Qin Yun, punched through his abdomen and fell to the ground. The power used by Qin Yun is the power of Heavenly Lion Xian Body plus Primordial Dao power. These two different types of power perfectly integrated together, produced an incomparably powerful power. Even if Du Anyuan wore armor, his Dao core was smashed by Qin Yun's punch. Du Anyuan, who was lying on the ground, was kicked back by Qin Yun. This is the price he paid for losing. How can it be so easy to win 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones? Qin Yun sneered. Before, when a disciple of Cold Star Valley was crippled, the people of Cold Star Valley did not dare to say anything. Now that the disciple of Myriad Star Sect was crippled, they dare not say anything. Behind Qin Yun is the Immortal Weapon City, which is a powerful immortal sect. Everyone looked at Du Anyuan, who was struggling on the ground, and secretly took a breath of cold air. Qin Yun's strength is indeed very terrifying. In a short period of time, he defeated a spirit martial realm martial master with his bare hands. Those who still question my use of poison immediately stand up. I will let him be convinced. Qin Yun said coldly to the crowd. Now, no one dares to say anything anymore. Judging from the situation of Qin Yun's attack, there is no chance to use poison at all, and there is no need for that. He can defeat the spirit martial realm in an instant and then use poison. It is simply superfluous. Qin Yun looked at a round-faced middle-aged man with a thick neck and said coldly, "You just shouted that I used poison and your voice was very loud. Now, shouldn't you clarify for me? Slandering me for using poison, I will pursue it to the end." "Yundaran, you are just bullying those small star sects. I am a disciple of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. I am not afraid of you." The thick-necked middle-aged man sneered loudly. "I just thought that you used poison. I just said it casually. I don't care if you really used poison or not." "Then you should apologize for this matter now," Qin Yun said. "Apologize? Who do you think you are? A temporary disciple who has not yet entered the Immortal Weapon City dares to be presumptuous in front of me? I am the main sect disciple of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. So what?" The moment Qin Yun said those words, it sounded like thunder. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he also appeared in front of the thick-necked middle-aged man. A punch blasted out in the air, and the power of vibration came out mightily. Wave after wave of impact went out. Boom, boom, boom. The power of vibration made a rumbling sound and hit the middle-aged man one after another. The middle-aged man was hit 9 times in a row and was hit 9 times in a row. Then he lay on the ground. His whole body twitched, and it seemed that he was seriously injured. Qin Yun just used a little bit of earthquake divine ability power, but it can directly cause vibration in other people's body. This is the most terrible. Several people from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain saw this scene and they were angry. Everyone saw Qin Yun once again defeated a powerful spirit martial realm martial artist, and they all stayed away. "Senior brothers and junior brothers, quickly take him down." The middle-aged man from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain shouted angrily. Kumingjiang saw that Qin Yun was about to be besieged and suddenly shouted, "You group of despicable guys, obviously that guy is weak and lost in the competition, and you are not willing to pay the price of failure." As he spoke, Jian Mang also flew over and stood beside Qin Yun. Jian Mang held a sharp long sword in his hand. The threatening sword power made those close to him feel incomparable fear. "People of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, you can step back. I don't want to offend you, but if you go too far, don't blame me for being impolite." Jian Mang's words are still very powerful. The origin sword in his hand is not a joke. Martial Dao 9th level sword cultivator, the cultivation of the origin sword, it is equivalent to a Xian tool, and it is the kind that is refined to the extreme perfection. This is also the terrible thing about sword cultivators. Although Kumingjiang is injured, with the strength of Jian Mang, he can still fight against several spirit martial realm martial artists. Lu Chongxing is not willing to compete with Jian Mang because he is afraid of Jian Mang's strength. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain have just surrounded, and after seeing Jian Mang, they can only grit their teeth and retreat. Those who just said that I used poison, stand up and apologize to me. Qin Yun's voice is still calm. It can be seen that he does not want to continue fighting. Those who accused Qin Yun of using poison before have come out to apologize to Qin Yun. The reason why Lu Chongqing can make many people believe that Qin Yun used poison is also because Qin Yun is only at the 9th level martial Dao realm. Now, Qin Yun has used his powerful strength to prove that his strength does not lose to spirit martial realm, so that everyone can believe this matter. Lu Chongqing and a few of you are the culprits who slandered me. Qin Yun looked coldly at Lu Chongqing and a few people behind him and said with anger, "If you don't apologize to me, the consequences will be very serious. I admit that you have enough strength. We are also willing to compete with you. You have done so many things. Don't you want to compete with us and win back those heavenly beast bones?" Lu Chongqing will not apologize at all. In this situation, he can only use his own strength to defeat Qin Yun. If he continues to evade, then everyone will think that Lu Chongqing is afraid. "Yun Darren, let's fight. 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, how about it?" Lu Chongqing looked at Kumingjiang. Kumingjiang also saw the strength of Qin Yun just now and quickly said, "How can 100,000 genes be enough? Lu Chongqing, we will bet 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. If you have the guts, just agree." "Ha ha ha, this is great, since you are so generous to give me so many heavenly beast bones, I can only be grateful." Lu Chongqing is still very confident in his own strength. Kumingjiang lost 2 games before, a total of 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. If they lose another 200,000 genes, they still have a lot, so Kumingjiang is not afraid of losing. Lu Chongqing finally accepted the challenge. Everyone also hid higher and farther. "Yun Darren, you slapped me 3 times, I will slap you 300 times. After Lu Chongqing finished, his long hair suddenly fluttered. The original black hair suddenly turned purple gold and burned with flames. It is a fire totem, the totem is on the hair. Lu Chongqing is going to show his true strength. It is really rare to see such a young totem martial master like him. Wait, his body seems to have a strange aura? Did you feel it?" After everyone heard it, they immediately sensed it seriously. It is Xian body. The legendary Xian body, that is Xian body Qi. Fire Xian body. No wonder he has such a high status in medicine Immortal Valley, it turns out to be a terrible physique. Among the crowd, there was a sudden shout. Although everyone knows that each sect has Xian body disciples, they are usually very mysterious and will not easily show up. Chapter 562. Rupee. Because Lu Chongqing has Xian body and fire totem, he was also told not to expose it at will. And now, he can't care so much. He wants to win 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones and revenge. Only by defeating Yun Darren in front of him can he completely wash away the humiliation of the previous 3 slaps. Qin Yun was not surprised at all. He just wondered why the totem tattoo was on his hair. "Yun Darren, you have to be careful." Kumingjiang saw the power of Lu Chongqing at this time and was secretly frightened and quickly reminded Qin Yun. As early as before, Ling Yuner told Qin Yun that Lu Chongqing has fire Xian body and he was already prepared. "Yun Darren, have you seen it? This is my true strength. When I was at the 9th level martial Dao realm, I could easily defeat many spirit martial realm martial artists. Dealing with you now is like playing a game for me." Lu Chongqing saw the envious and jealous eyes of everyone and he was even more proud. His eyes seemed to be on the top of his head. "But you still lost to me in arm wrestling," Qin Yun said, "and you were slapped by me 3 times. Since you have such a powerful force, why didn't you use it earlier?" That's because I am a very low-key person," Lu Chongqing sneered. I admit that you have some strength, but you are only a martial Dao 9th level martial artist. You have not even opened your bone spirit, and you can't defeat me using the power of bone spirit. After opening the bone spirit, it can integrate a powerful beast soul or other souls, so that the bones can obtain a powerful bone spirit and become stronger. Qin Yun's bone spirit soul is ready. It is the heavenly lion beast soul. Now, he only needs to wait for the bone spirit to open and he can start the soul fusion. Look at the palm. After Lu Chongqing shot out a palm, he sneered. As soon as his voice fell, a flame illusory palm with a height of more than 10 meters rushed to Qin Yun. The speed was so fast that Qin Yun could not avoid it. Boom! The huge flame illusory palm suddenly submerged Qin Yun and made a whistling sound. The heat wave blew in all directions and rushed to the sky. While everyone felt the scorching heat, they also shivered slightly. This is Void Yuan Xian Palm. It is also a martial spirit mysterious technique. Didn't he have the wave capturing Xian Palm before? Now, with the Void Yuan mysterious palm, he actually grasped two mysterious arts. This is too terrifying. Everyone looked at Qin Yun, who was enveloped in flames, and exclaimed. Lu Chongqing jumped into the air and shot a huge flame palm from the air. His palm pressed against the ground, creating a huge handprint. The flames became even more ferocious and roared continuously. Just as Lu Chongqing was about to launch the third palm strike, Qin Yun suddenly flew out of the flames. Qin Yun leaped out and charged straight into the sky like a fiery light. Boom! Qin Yun, who suddenly flew out, is also very fast. He hit Lu Chongqing's body and made a muffled sound. Lu Chongqing was hit and shouted, then quickly avoided Qin Yun in the air. The clothes on Qin Yun's body were burned to tatters, but he did not suffer any major injuries. During the martial arts competition, many people have checked and did not find Qin Yun and Lu Chongqing wearing armor or anything. However, Qin Yun was able to withstand Lu Chongqing's two powerful palm strikes. Burning Heaven Raging Flame Palm. After Lu Chongqing was hit, he screamed in anger and waved his palm in the distance. A strong Xian body aura, accompanied by a strong totem power, shrouded violently. In the sky there were many flame palms. Those palms were like ferocious wolves as they pounced at Qin Yun. Ho ho ho! Every palm that flew over collided with it, causing an explosion. Hundreds of palms flew over one after another, and at the same time, there was a burst of scorching wind. The people around quickly dodged, worried that they would be affected. This guy used totem martial arts. Qin Yun is very sure that this kind of totem power can only be released by totem martial art. Don't be afraid, your heavenly lion Xian body totem is Xian totem, and it is also fire. That guy's fire totem is just a spirit totem, far less than you. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun was bombarded by many fire totem power. Although he was hit a little painful, it was only this and could not affect the vital parts of his body. This must be totem martial arts. Lu Chongqing can comprehend totem martial arts, it's really amazing. Qin Yun was attacked by continuous fire palms and it turned into a ball of fire. The temperature in the center must be very high. Qin Yun should be burned to ashes, right? Even if he doesn't turn into ashes, he will turn into coke. Lu Chongqing constantly attacked with burning heaven raging flame palm, dense fire palm phantoms wrapped Qin Yun into a fireball. Just when Lu Chongqing was secretly proud, he suddenly heard Qin Yun let out a deafening roar. Qin Yun's heavenly lion Xian body vibrated with the power of earthquake, and the flame wrapped around him was shaken away. Dragon Tiger Violent Scale Slash. Qin Yun also used totem martial arts and his palm was like a knife. I saw countless black shadows suddenly flashed out, looking carefully, it is like a dragon and a tiger flying and finally turned into a dragon-scale broadsword, slashing at Lu Chongqing. The dragon-scale broadsword flying in the sky issued a dragon-tiger roar. Lu Chongqing wanted to avoid but found that the scale-like broadsword, like a giant net pressed down. Totem martial arts? Yun Daren, you actually have a totem! At the same time Lu Chongqing screamed. He could only keep using his palms to resist, and his body was also cut by a burst of energy. Lu Chongqing was shocked and angry. His long hair flung and quickly released the fire totem. After the fire totem came out, it turned into a fire vine and quickly spread over to entangle Qin Yun. Qin Yun was not willing to show weakness and quickly condensed an illusory dragon tiger. Everyone also saw a mighty dragon tiger flying through the void and charging towards the fiery vines. Lu Chongqing was frightened and quickly used the burning heaven-raging flame palm to attack. He wanted to destroy the black dragon tiger beast. The black dragon tiger beast went over, its body trembled and the scales on its body flew out. It is the dragon tiger violent scale slash. The sky full of purple gold fire palm, and the sky full of black dragon scale broadsword collided with each other. It is like countless fireworks in the air. A series of explosions came crashing down on the ground, causing the earth to sink. You don't have the power of bone spirit, you will lose. Lu Chongqing's fire palm actually shook all the dragon scale broadsword and then fiercely pounced on the dragon tiger beast. Boom boom boom! The dragon tiger beast bombarded with countless fire palms, causing bursts of dazzling flashes, and were scattered in an instant. Qin Yun also took advantage of this time and quickly attacked. He came to the front of Lu Chongqing, condensed the power of earthquake on his arm and punched. When the fist punched out, it stirred up a shock wave far away. Lu Chongqing wanted to punch back, but the power in his body was scattered by the shock wave. He quickly tried his best, condensed all the power to protect himself and then fell to the ground, avoiding Qin Yun's terrible shock punch. Everyone knows that Qin Yun can release a terrible shock force that is impossible to guard against. At this time, everyone thinks that it is the power brought by the dragon tiger totem. Even Lu Chongqing thinks so. Yun Daren's martial spirit should be black. His totem power is black. Black martial spirit. If you have a black martial spirit at the first level of martial Dao, then when you step into the third level of martial Dao, you can cultivate a divine power, and after the 6th and 9th level of martial Dao, you can strengthen a certain kind of divine power. So, this guy used the power of divine power. No wonder he is so terrifying. He can easily hang up spirit martial realm. Black martial spirit and totem. Is this a monster from a powerful family? Everyone saw Qin Yun chasing Lu Chongqing and they were shocked. Even Kumingjiang's eyes widened. Jian Meng knows that Yun Daren is Qin Yun and he also knows that Qin Yun is very strong, but he did not expect him to hide so deep. Lu Chongqing has a purple gold martial spirit and fire totem, but compared with Yun Daren's black martial spirit and dragon tiger totem, it is much worse. If Lu Chongqing didn't have the power of fire Xian body, maybe he would have been defeated, Kumingjiang said. Lu Chongqing just entered the spirit martial realm and has the power of bone spirit, but now he is still suppressed. Jian Meng said. Kumingjiang thought of this and could not help but exclaim. Qin Yun's power is by no means so simple. Lu Chongqing, who fought with Qin Yun, directly felt the horror of the shock force, which made it impossible to gather the power in his body. Boom! Lu Chongqing dodged a few times and finally was hit by a heavy punch and was suddenly hit from the air. Lu Chongqing, who was knocked down, smashed a big pit on the ground. Seeing this scene, everyone knows that Lu Chongqing is about to be defeated. Now everyone has seen Lu Chongqing being crushed by a powerful force. Qin Yun did not expect that his aura was revealed so much, but Lu Chongqing did not recognize him. It's over. Qin Yun fell down fiercely and stomped on the ground. The incomparably embarrassed Lu Chongqing roared, holding a long sword in his hand. He stabbed at Qin Yun, who was falling down. After Qin Yun saw it, he quickly avoided the long sword that stabbed at him. Lu Chongqing, you use a weapon. After Kumingjiang saw it, he was furious. You scoundrel! Son of a bitch, go to hell! Lu Chongxing looked at Kumingjiang and slammed a talisman. At the same time, Qin Yun also took out a hammer and hit Lu Chongxing with a strong 9 extinction primordial force. Lu Chongxing suddenly had a square shield in his hand. 9 Sun Divine Hammer hit the square shield and a strong flame burst out. The square shield was smashed and Lu Chongxing was also sent flying to the distance. Boom! At the same time that the square shield exploded, the talisman that Lu Chongxing threw also burst out with a terrible thunder. It's a Dao talisman. Qin Yun looked at Kumingjiang fiercely and shouted, Captain, Jian Mang! The furious thunder and lightning crazily bombarded the area. Qin Yun kept shouting Captain, Jian Mang and rushed in. The power of Dao talisman is very terrible. Even if Qin Yun has heavenly lion Xian body, he was hit by the lightning and felt severe pain all over his body. The violent thunder Dao talisman covers an area of only 20 or 30 meters and the power is more concentrated. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.